SMTN.
How's it going, everybody, and welcome to Shin Megami Tensei Network link 391. I'm your host, Spencer Presley. Joining me for this very speculative episode of the podcast, we've got an illustrious crew here. Number one, he's currently facing not one, but two legal battles. One of them may be related to Limited Run. The other one may be related to G Fuel purposefully giving him a bad bottle. We've got Larrue.
Hi, I'm Larrue.
How's your lawsuit going? Have you talked to your lawyer since the bottle broke?
You know, G Fuel DM'd me.
Shut up!
And
No,
I guess
they didn't.
they're gonna replace my bottle, I guess.
Oh, no, what? That tweet actually got a lot of likes, which is very weird.
It really surprised me because I was like, this was a nothing tweet. I literally just broke it, and I was like, oh, this is so funny. Let me post this. Because I wanted to say that it was weak to Fizz, which then people were way funnier than me in my comment section, which is annoying. But yeah, and then it blew up.
Well, speaking of someone who wishes they had blown up recently on Twitter, and
Oh,
he will. Whoa, damn, you okay? What happened?
Sorry, that was just a very funny image. I just saw Jack Frost inflation meme in my head when you said that.
Man, I hate that I now have to make that the part of the thumbnail this week. That's really unfortunate. Well, speaking of someone who's definitely not into Jack Frost inflation videos, hopefully, is our third wheel of the show. We've got Macca. Mac, how are you doing today?
I am doing all right. I am doing okay. That is good. How are you?
Did you become Yakov Smirnoff in the new year?
I guess I did.
Okay, I was gonna say you were either that or who was the really bad Russian stereotype who lived with Arnold from Hey Arnold?
Oh God, I don't remember his name. I know who you're talking about.
I want to say like an Ernie, maybe. Like, Ernie, why you not pay?
Yeah.
Why you not pay rent? I don't know. Why did you marry me to begin with?
Oscar.
Yeah, that. Oscar,
Oh, there you go. Ernie was probably someone in Hey Arnold. Let's be honest.
Yeah, probably.
But yes,
that's a very Hey Arnold name.
We are the three horsemen of the Atlus apocalypse, here to bless you with a lot of predictions, a lot of probably ill-formed guesstimations, and we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff because, unsurprisingly, or I don't know, I will say I've been surprised genuinely how vocal Atlus has been, not only in the new year, but even before the new year. And that kind of leads us into our first thing of, hey, they officially announced Persona's 30th anniversary before it was 2026. And the problem with that, at least for me, was it was a bummer of how close it was, and it was during the holiday when they finally made the website go live, because my gut really tells me they bumped that up early because that image leaked. And I remember when it leaked, I was kind of like, this really does look too good to be fake. But especially with nowadays, you never really know. But for you guys, when those images first leaked, were you on team it's real or it's not real? Do you know what I'm talking about for the really low res image for the 30th anniversary?
See, I already knew that it was real. I'm so used to being able to filter what is a good faked image versus what is actually genuine leak. No offense to any Atlus staff listening, but there's a complete lack of security. So the idea of something leaking makes so much sense to me. And then yeah, it just looked like a thing. The other things that people have tried to pass off always look off.
Yeah, yeah. You're just to clarify, you're specifically talking about was it that one like group shot that includes what's his name? Wonder from P5X?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Okay, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, I figured it was real. I figured it was real just because this isn't the first time. I'm sure there probably were some people that were like, "Oh, Wonder is here." That's his name is Wonder, right? That's what people call him.
I mean, you can choose to call him that. I'm gonna dead name him and just call him Spencer every time.
Oh, okay. Well,
His name is Nagisa, not Spencer. Just so you know.
his his name is Spangle. Um, yeah, no, I'm sure there are probably some people who are like, "Oh, him being there makes this like really suspicious." But I mean, it's not the first time Atlus has included weird spin-off characters um in like some celebratory group shot. It's relevant, and they're still trying to push P5X as like some kind of tentpole. Uh, but yeah, I figured it was real when I saw it.
Here is my giveaway, and I am not even joking, and you guys can laugh at me or tell me if this was true. I gave it way more validity points when it leaked. By the way, shout out to it leaking on Festivus. I really appreciated that. I just thought that was extra funny as a Seinfeld fan. Um, the fact that the images came from a leak on Tumblr made it even funnier to me. I was like, dude, it's 2025 and an image is getting leaked from Tumblr. This is peak Persona anniversary content. I was all in for it.
Yeah, Tumblr. I haven't. Well, I can't remember the last time Tumblr was like actually relevant in some way to me.
It's
So that
too
was kind of
bad
a
that like especially like it came at, I guess for Atlus a good time and a bad time. Like I'm almost shocked that we never had anyone like try to fool all the like dum-dums out there or even just the casual Atlus fans by just being like, "Hey Grok, make a Persona 30th anniversary art." Just see what garbage was thrown up on Twitter.
And then take
yeah,
its clothes off.
yeah.
I
Sorry.
will say I have unfortunately seen, I don't know if it's still up anymore, especially with all the weird purging they've been doing of that image stuff. I did see when it was officially posted, because that when it was officially posted was when the Hey Grok start taking their clothes off post happened, where it was literally like Hey Grok, remove Wonder. Hey Grok, put Makoto in a bikini. Like all the like I saw all those. Which, to be fair, a testament to that art team. Uh, Grok does not know how to handle or replicate that. Like Grok was like when the amount of times like he
No.
was like, dude, I don't know. I'm gonna put like a fish-eyed lens on this. I don't know what to do with this.
Well, that's what Persona fans deserve. So
They deserve
Yeah,
Grok.
exactly.
Grok and fisheye lenses.
Damn. Well, thankfully the announcement did come, and there was a whole bunch of nothing. And what's been so funny about watching how the 30th anniversary has been handled is I feel like way, way, way more than the 25th anniversary. I am watching this with such a interesting lens than I did before. Like I remember we were all so excited when the 25th anniversary got announced because of how well they had handled the 20th anniversary and just kind of expected, okay, we will keep that momentum and do more. And remember they revealed it with that website that was like you're going to get 7, maybe 19 different things. It's going to be huge. We were like, "Oh my god, what are all these things going to be?" Whereas the website was like, "Here's some art, here's a main image. We are doing a stream in a couple of days, and it will only be in Japanese, and it will have no game announcements." And I was like, okay, they're doing a good job of giving no one any reason to be excited outside of, hey, new art, which I thought was very smart. But it was just so funny of like, even a couple of weird things that kind of gave me, and not in a good way, old Atlus vibes. And number one was this. This was one of the first live streams in forever, at least that I can remember, that Atlas Tube did not have Atlas West post on their end. There was no subtitles ever added outside of auto translate, and no Western push for almost any of it in terms of like not even the collab stuff, which would make sense, but like the only thing that got any attention for it was like some of the fitness boxing things, which we'll talk about later. But I just thought it was so weird because it's like, even though when they've done a lot of primarily Japanese only things, they would at least in the past let us know, hey, there's a live stream coming up. If you want to watch this, you can watch it at this time. I thought it was very weird to only market this towards the Japanese audience and not do anything for the worldwide at all. Because even Southeast Asia marketed it.
Yeah, it's not very encouraging. It's really not encouraging. Just kind of as a Western fan, uh, just the fact that, like, there was no real push. I am curious, like, beyond just like the concert here in a couple of weeks, what they'll be trying to do in the West. But like, I feel like it's going to be a lot more like reserved compared to whatever we get, which isn't exactly anything new, to be fair. But yeah.
This is kind of an early prediction. This is not one of my real ones, but you mentioning the concert. I've been kind of just talking to people about this in general. I'm curious for the two of you, and Larry, you can go first. Do you feel like, especially with the announcement happening so early in the year, having some stuff ready, do you feel like there's going to be anything at the concert that could be related to the 30th anniversary? Because like my gut, as soon as like we kind of got this website, was like, there's really no reason at this point for there not to be, at least for me. But like, what do you think as someone else who's going?
Yeah, initially I was kind of thinking, oh, there's gonna be something happening at the concert, but now, well, first of all, I don't think there's gonna be any merch beyond what they've already revealed. Like, if there's anything else, that'd be surprising. But they don't even have stuff that makes sense, like those little lights or anything. Um, I feel like what's gonna end up happening, like, this is probably the most obvious thing, I think, is what they're gonna do the concert and then they're gonna reveal that it's gonna be in a couple other cities in America. Like, that's what I think it's end up gonna happening, because it's the only thing that
Oh,
makes sense to me. Especially because they chose a small venue here. It tells me they're trying to figure out like a very small size that's scalable across a couple of different big cities. So they'll probably do like one in Texas, one in New York. I don't know what other big cities are in America because I'm American, but yeah. Um, I feel like this. I feel like there's if there's gonna be anything, it's gonna be announced at the concert. They're not gonna announce anything soon because there's only a week left and they haven't really even said anything. Like, they've been oddly silent about this concert.
is now a bad time for me to tell you that the last social media person got fired over the holidays? Should we not have brought that up at the beginning of the show?
Oh,
What?
oh, wow.
I don't even know who it was, to be honest.
No, dude, that's the thing. It's like, dude, literally nowadays, their social media in the West has been so weird that like I would not doubt it if someone came up to me and was like, "Oh yeah, like it's like there's no one running socials right now," or like everyone's on like, because like I remember even that other one, I forget when they posted it, but like they have just been either weirdly silent or posting the weirdest stuff of like when they posted that like Persona 3 and 5 one of like the all out attacks and none of them were all out attacks. I was like,
That was so
this is like
bizarre.
Oh yeah,
this was like
that was so
I would
funny.
I literally and I posted this genuinely. I was like, it's too bad that I know that they're not allowed to rage bait, because like that's something that like legitimately like almost would have made more sense as a rage bait post.
There was part of me that was wondering that was like in not decline, in denial of like, no, that's too stupid. And the only thing I can think is it has to be some other community person from Sega who just doesn't actually know. Because like that was so baffling. That was so confusing.
It's
I
really
love
weird.
it. Yeah, it is
I
really
mean, no,
weird.
it is funny, but like even other things, like I would say that, and especially like in the grand scheme of things, that's such a nothing burger. Even other big stuff like this, like over the winter holiday, you know what they almost never tweeted about, and especially when it was finally live, they never made any post advertising or reminding people that, hey, we did this massive patch for Persona 3 on Switch 2 that fixed a lot of people's complaints with the game. No, didn't ever do that. Even other ones of like, and I thought this one was extra weird. Of it completely ignoring that, like, and I won't count like them when they post the sales stuff because that's mostly more of a Sega thing, but like not advertising that. And that even kind of led me down another thing when I was going through my year-end review earlier, a couple of weeks ago, of I think it's safe to say either someone lost the keys to the password, or whoever was working on the official Atlas West website before just straight up does not work there anymore. Do you know that that Atlas West has not made a blog post in literally over 10 months?
Oh
That's
wow.
funny you mentioned that because I was literally just looking at that when you said that. I was like, when you started talking about the inconsistencies, I was like, oh, let me check. And there's a lot of other stuff too. The Persona Anniversary website, like some of the stuff is kind of, like as if someone who doesn't really know much is doing it.
Just
I
like
just
they
this
got someone else from Sega who's like, do you mind taking on a little bit extra work? Sure you do. Thanks, buddy.
That's been honestly, that's been my biggest worry, and it never really happened when the buyout first happened. But like legitimately, when Sega bought Atlas, I remember my fear and a lot of different people's fears were it's going to slowly erode what made Atlas West, uh, and it never really came immediately. I think the most drastic way it came, like I think we would all agree, would be in them stopping publishing other games from other companies. Like that was the biggest
Yes.
one, but like that's going to be felt by the most people. But like now we're at the point where it's like obviously people have complained for years and talked about like how, hey, we don't have like a John Harden, we don't have like a big person to rely on in the community, hashtag bring back the Bufu Boys. But like it's it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, there's no one to rely upon. Anyone who used to be long-standing at the company in terms of a social stance either left due to poor work conditions or poor pay, or got laid off through like various layoffs over the years. That it's like, yeah, it's not like we all just don't talk to Atlas anymore. It's like, yeah, like their account has just kind of been in coasting mode for a while, which, especially if you look back at the last year, makes a lot of sense. Atlas West is not in charge of Persona 5X. They very specifically, like, they do not handle that or treat that as one of their games. Whereas the only game they handled was a game that's been done for months with Rider Remastered. So I wouldn't be shocked if I ended up here and it was like, oh, well, yeah, like we just cut back all of our social stuff because we're having a quiet year, which makes sense, but it just kind of sucks because it's like, yeah, you can take a year off in terms of trying, but everyone's going to notice and or stop looking at you for attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, when you put it that way, I mean, you can kind of see that even in just the way that the accounts operate. Because when I remember when I first when Atlas first followed me back on Facebook or Twitter, the first thing I did was look at like who else they followed like before me, and so many of those accounts were like huge Atlas fans in like the early 2000s, or like when like any one big game came out and they had like a good tweet about it, they would just follow like that person and they no longer make content or they don't do anything. um I feel like that also kind of is the case too, because like they follow a lot of dead accounts, and that's that's one of the things where I'm like, oh, they're not locked in at all anymore with like the fandom or what we're doing. And even with the that repost Friday thing that they used to do, the Atlas Faithful, I don't think they're doing that anymore.
Yes.
Because
No,
I,
no.
I drew a nice picture and I was like, oh, they're gonna repost it, and then I realized, oh, they didn't repost anything.
It's and I mean, and that's always a bummer of like when you're getting disappointed by what Atlas Faithful Friday was before. I remember when they brought that back, how like you and me would even talk about of like, dude, this is like literally the bare minimum of community interaction, and we thought that was bad. So now that like they don't even do that anymore, it really kind of sucks that it's like. And I mean, there are so many outlets for other fans to do it, or like going around and like spreading attention. Like they don't necessarily have to be the ones who do it. It's always just that weird thing of
Right.
like, it's not weird that you don't do it. It's only weird that you stopped. And then when you choose to do it, it's that like, it's clearly more of a thing of like, okay, we're doing it because it matters now versus like it doesn't really matter in terms of promotioning our marketing cycle. Like a great example of that for a company, like two different companies on very different scales. Like a great one would be look at something like Square Enix with Nier. Nier as a series has really not been relevant in a major way since Automata, which was many, many, many years ago. But that
Coming up on
fandom,
10 years.
it is, yeah, it's crazy. But it's like, think about how much they repost fans, share things. And I'm not even talking about Yokotaro. Like, Yokotaro was definitely like an outlier. He's up there with like the Sweries and the Sudas of the world, where like getting a retweet from like Swery is not that hard. Like, no one's gonna be like, oh my god, Swery65 followed me on Twitter.
Exactly.
It's like he's like dude, he's the opposite of Harada. He's like follow, 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 sure thing. It's those like social accounts where it's like, hey, we haven't had anything major happen with Nier in a while, but guess what? That has not led the Nier fandom being quiet. We're resharing stuff, we're posting things all the time. And on a much smaller scale, I look at companies like Remedy. Remedy, I still get notifications every week, not even just on social media, but even directly on my PlayStation. Every week they do Screenshot Saturday or Screenshot Sunday, where someone is taking a picture in Control 1, a game from forever ago, and like, or Alan Wake or something like that, where they'll just be like, hey, thanks to all of our fans, we love these screenshots, we love these like bits of like art you guys are sending our way. And even if it like doesn't necessarily like tie into a game or whatever, it's like it's literally like something that they're paying someone pennies on the dollar to do, but it goes such a long way. Because like, guess what, you look at Nier fans, you look at Remedy fans, those fans are fucking loyal to that company, not just because of the games they make, but because they make it feel like a community. Whereas, like, there's one thing I think a lot of Atlus fans can agree upon, especially Persona fans, is like, there's not universally like one thing that everyone's like, oh man, yeah, like we all get together for this. Like, and if there even was like a thing that everyone could kind of get together and do, you could maybe argue it's Anime Expo. But even that, like, they clearly have years where, yeah, they go every year, but they don't really push it like this is the big Atlas West thing to go to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the closest you kind of get is like, I mean, I feel like this concert is kind of sort of like that, at least right now, but it feels so like just like, oh, this is just what we have. This is just what we have coming up.
I really want to ask like the people involved. I'm gonna try and find as many people working on as possible that I can talk to, either off the record or on, because I'm so curious about this concert. And Larry, you may have more info than I do. Of like, I feel like this is just such like, this almost feels like a thing that we are getting from Japan more so than, oh, they really pushed for us to do this in the West. And I only say that because, do you remember the high we had not only during but after that SMT concert 3 years ago, where everyone after that event was like, this was great, the set list was awesome, everyone had a great time, we should totally take this on tour or do this again or have anything similar to this ever happen. Nothing ever again came from it. And it was like, yeah, it was cool for everyone who went, but if you didn't go to that one day only one show option that sold out, it's like, okay, cool, like this was a fun one-off, but like why not, like if you're going to do this with Sonic Symphony and all these other like things that go on tour, and again, tours are expensive, especially nowadays, like having a big thing even like Persona is not a guaranteed hit for touring, but it's just so wild to think that it's like, and nothing came out of that whole concert at AX 2013 seems really weird.
Mike, I'm a little conflicted on this, just because from my perspective, at least the way I saw it, that concert was like the pitch to do music in the West. And I think that the way that the fans responded and the way that they were gauging the metrics of like cost and like the potential gains, I think that's all. I think that was all measured there, because if you remember, they recorded that whole thing. I was under the impression they were going to release that footage at some point, but now I'm like,
Dude,
were they just
that is such a good point, because I have footage from not every song. I have every bit of interlude footage from that concert that I just never posted because I was like, oh, I'm sure they'll post it and it'll be way better quality than my phone. And I just keep telling myself like, I just gotta post it, because at this point I think it's safe to say they're never gonna post that concert.
No,
you should
that's just
post
the
it because
file they
it's
have.
lost media also. Like, I like all of my footage I accidentally deleted. I deleted all the footage.
No.
Oh no.
Okay, so you would know better than me because you were there, without me having to describe it. I have recorded at the very least the opening and the outro speech as well as all of the video messages they had from staff in Japan. I have all
Yeah.
of those recorded, and to my knowledge, I don't think anyone has posted those on YouTube, at least whenever
Nope.
I have looked with it. Is that a
Yeah. No.
thing I should just say fuck it and post it?
You should, or at least do it on like a secondary account. I have an account that I use to
Nah,
post
man,
stuff
burn the
like
main
that.
account down. Burn it down to the ground. What do I care?
You stop
Because
caring.
like
Just do it.
I don't think they're gonna. I think they'd be more interested in striking the like the music footage because that's the part that
That's what I thought, because
yeah.
I have clips of the music, but honestly I only wanted to record the speeches because I was either interested in what they were going to say, and it wasn't like, oh, here's like a little pre-canned thing. Like, I was surprised how many of them they had, and they were all like, they all had a set, they all had subtitles. Like, they clearly put effort into like even the B-roll they got for all that with it. So that was why I was like, even at the time we were like, yeah, they're probably going to post this on YouTube in like a month or something.
Yeah, like this is probably something like so the band director, the guy who led the I forget the name of the band, but he followed me on Twitter and I had asked him
Oh
about
yeah, because
it.
he does
Yeah.
all the Sonic Symphony stuff.
Yeah, so and based I don't want to put words in his mouth, but based on our interaction, it seemed like he was under the impression that that music was going to be released too. So my assumption is that something happened, something fell through at some point. I think that there has been this long desire to do music in the West because I'm working on a video that's literally about all the different Persona concerts up to this point, and they have said it like they've said it multiple times that they want to do music in the West. I'm assuming they're trying to figure out what's the best way to do it to guarantee that they won't lose money. And that's why this Los Angeles show is really important too, this Persona one. But it's almost sold out. It's like I think there's only like less than 40 seats across both days. And that's pretty good considering how small the venue is. And I think that's why I keep bringing up the size of the venue. I think that they're going to use this as a metric of if they can launch a very small, very targeted tour across America. And I really think that it might just be like California and New York and one other state probably.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Well,
Somewhere on the West Coast, somewhere on the East Coast, and then somewhere in the middle. Probably like
Yeah, but
I
I
don't
don't know
know.
I don't know what's a big middle city. You guys might know. What's a big middle city?
Kansas City. Let's go. Just right in Spencer's house. Look at a fucking projector screen. Come on, baby. Let's go.
Everyone party at Spencer's house. Just destroy
Hey,
everything.
that'd be a good opportunity to steal some of your merch. I mean, to look at your collection. I mean,
If there was ever, man, I'll tell you what, especially because I've been purging a lot of stuff. It's so funny. Like, I will look at things and I'll be like, random piece of merchandise I have that is just a funny background thing in my mind. I'm like, I have to keep you, even though like you're not. It's a funny one of like the amount of things I have that are rare but not necessarily expensive, but are also so stupid that I'm like, I will never own this again if I sell this. I'm like, I have to keep it for the rest of my life.
I'm still lucky. I'm
yeah,
still so happy that I ended up getting a Nahobino uh eventually. Just considering like that is like I am never I was so scared I was never gonna get one.
I'm still trying to get the purple inferior one. By the way, because I pulled it up because I also talked to him on Twitter. We were talking about Shota Nakama was the producer who had worked on the SMT concert. He
yes,
now does
yeah.
the Sonic stuff. So that's concert talk. We'll be shoving it in Mac's face every day. We're just gonna send him a picture of us at the concert. Maybe flip him off. We don't know. He purposely didn't want to go. He said, "I'd rather go to a J-Eazy concert live and in person than go see Persona Music live." So we can't
I'll be
blame
a
him, I guess.
I'll be 100% honest. I absolutely totally fucking would because a Jay-Z concert sounds hilarious. That sounds like it'd be awesome. But
I
no,
imagine
wanted to go
I
see
imagine
Proto Man.
instead of having an opening band, it's just a dude punching a broken sign for like 30 minutes until Jay-Z comes on stage.
Jay-Z ain't dropped yet, bruh. But yeah, no, Proto Man were awesome. Magfest was awesome. Proto Man was awesome. I got the Mega Man Star Force Complete Works art book. Thanks
Thank you for
again.
buying that.
Thanks again for telling me. Thanks
Yeah,
again
I'm
for
surprised how
filling me with a
expensive that
pleasure.
is, man. That's the funny thing, dude. Speaking of things that you will forget are expensive, and I'm sure, Larry, you're also guilty of this with me. Art books are such a I gotta just buy those because I gotta set them and forget them. Because it's like if just buy them if you want them, because they're either gonna be horrifically rare and they're never almost gonna get cheaper. Like I've never seen an art book that's like, oh man, this thing's everywhere and it's half price. I should have got this. I should have waited.
Yeah, never. I think the only time it's ever happened is when Udon decided to reprint some books randomly. But yeah, never.
Still waiting on that Devil Survivor 2 Udon translation design works. That will never
No,
happen.
that Catherine book that got canceled. Don't get.
Bro,
Uh,
I still every now and then hit up my contact at Udon because I'm like, because they've had so many weird things. I remember how long that P5 art book took to come out. Like they have the weirdest luck with Atlus. Like, and the funniest thing is, it's all Atlus West. Normally, it's Atlus Japan who slows stuff down. It's Atlus West. It was just been like a complete like roadblock for everything. Because what's funny is they have 3 projects at least officially announced as pending that are like still not canceled as of me asking in the last like 6 months. The Catherine book allegedly is still coming. Persona 5 Royal official design works is supposed to be coming in full, and the Persona Q art book never got canceled. Like that is, and that one was announced literally a decade ago.
That's actually crazy. That's like Digital Devil Saga novel type delays. That's weird.
Oh, you mean Avatar Tuner? Like, dude,
Oh
Oh,
yeah, that's what I meant.
if we literally, and that's so sad about what happened with all that and everything. But like, man, the worst part about following Quantum Devil Saga was knowing that they're all done. It's not even like, oh, well, we didn't want to pay for it to get done. It was like, no, they're all ready. They just sold so bad that we never got more than 2.
and it sucks because I had the chance to get the 2, and then I never got
That's
the
another
I
one.
never got to
Yeah.
buy
If
'em.
you didn't if you didn't buy either Volume 1 or Volume 2 of Quantum Devil Saga, you were fucked. Those books are rare as hell.
I got
My
them
God,
both. I'm looking at them
I
right
had
now.
I had the
The o-
chance.
the only regret I have with those books, because Larry, you have the hardcovers like me, right?
I have the hardcovers and the soft covers. So I was like, oh, you know,
That
well,
was a.
why not?
I don't have the soft covers because I'm not a soft cover collector, but it was one of those things of I never expected it to be rare, and it's one of those ones that I'm like, I'd love to find it. Even though like I'm glad I have the hardcover. I'm not a soft cover over hardcover person, but that's one of those funny ones where like because it's now so limited, it's like damn, fucking $700 is insane,
Jesus,
insane.
Jesus
Right?
Christ.
Some someone is selling just the first volume, but soft for $900. Because I guess the
Wow,
soft ones
It's
are rarer, maybe.
you should buy these two. Buy the combo. That's a deal.
Sorry, but
so.
the books aren't even good, to be honest. Sorry to
Oh,
break it to anyone who
They
cares.
were cool that they came out. They were translated well, and I'm glad that they came out.
Yeah, that's probably the best compliment you can say is that it was translated well.
I
It's
still
not
follow. I still follow
Kevin.
the most. Well, Kevin's off social media. I'm really sad. He got.
Oh,
I don't know if he had a really rough bit with just some personal stuff, and because
uh,
his claim to fame, thankfully after Quantum Devil Saga, you know what he worked on, right?
no.
oh, I vaguely
There's
remember
this.
something.
It's that really famous visual novel. It's the like 417 Shibuya game or
Oh, yes,
whatever.
yeah. Shibuya Scramble,
Yes,
like
I don't know what you're
he
4128 or
talking
something.
about.
localized that, and that is probably like one of his best localizations he ever did. And that game is super super underrated. But like in terms of visual novels, like that one, I always see like Wario 64 will still plug that one with it because that's such a great game, and most people didn't know that he worked on that for Spike.
Yeah, it was like an FMV game. Where it was
Yeah,
like all live
it's
action.
an FMV live action visual novel, but there's no moving. Like it's all still pictures.
Oh, that's
Bizarre.
interesting.
It's very cool. It's also because it goes back to in the Spike days. It was actually so we got in the West on PS4. It was originally a PSP game, And there was a
Mm,
plan to bring it to Vita, but by the time it finally came out and got localized
yeah,
worldwide, it
they
made more
left.
sense just to do PS4.
Yeah, as soon as you
Yeah.
said plan to be on Vita, I'm like, I get it.
Damn. All right, so world's longest tangent aside with it, I want to wrap up the 30th anniversary talk because there really wasn't much major stuff announced that like of consequences for games, but there was one game bit that had a really short announcement to delivery, which was nice. I think the execution absolutely blows. So, personal trainer boxing 3 on the Switch uh, ended up getting a DLC pack announced because it was initially teased, and a lot of us, myself included, thought that this was going to be one of their spin-offs, like when they did Fist of the North Star or Hatsune Miku. They've done a lot of fitness boxing spin-off ones before where it made sense. Well, I guess Fist of the North Star doesn't make sense, but it was still funny. Uh, and everyone, myself included, when this got announced, it was like, oh, this would make a great spin-off game. Like, they could make it for cheap. There's plenty of music, and God knows there's enough boxers in Persona you can throw a hat at. So it's like, okay, great. There's a lot of potential with this. Instead, it was DLC. All right, that sucks. But you know what? They could still do a good job. The problem is, it was like the lowest effort DLC possible.
Like what, three
They
songs or
included some,
something?
I think it's like, what, 5 songs, right?
It's a very
So
low amount.
it it is 5 songs, and I'll pull up the track list here in a second. The problem is, and I may even include it as like the outro music or something. Go and look it up. It is not even the songs. It is legitimately, it sounds like someone made MIDI covers. So even though like they are only songs from Persona 5, none of them are songs with lyrics. They are all songs that had lyrics, but they didn't want to pay Lynn the like $5 she would need for the licensing. So they are all very bad sounding MIDI covers, and it's rough. And what was funny was watching them reveal it on the anniversary stream because the hosts were like, "Oh, it's so cool. Oh, this sounds so great." All right, so here are the 5 songs. You get Wake Up, Get Out There, Life Will Change, I Believe, solid choice, River in the Desert, and Last Surprise. Completely whatever safe vanilla picks, give or take, I believe, I guess. If you listen to how it works and how they sound, it literally was like someone like paid someone $5 or went to Fiverr and was like, give me a Mario Paint cover of every Persona 5 song that Google SEO says we should include. And it was just so underwhelming, at least for me, because like I love the idea of these workout games. I think you could even do a full on like at least 40 track song fitness boxing game with Persona and make it a hit. And it was just such a bummer and I mean, at least we knew about it very quickly before it came out. It was just like so weird. Why now? Why so little effort? The whole reveal was just super super lame. There's one cool thing about it, but I wanted to see if either of you two had any thoughts on this.
I think Atlus was trying to tell their fans something. I think they were trying to say something about their fans.
Boo! Low hanging fruit. Boo!
No, you're right. You're right. No, I think what it was is people had like actually kind of high expectations because there was that tease. There was that like weird New Year's tease where there was like, oh yeah, so it was something about like having a lot of stamina. Um and then this happened, and it was just like such a weird, like, I mean, of course they would do something weird like this, but it was just like, oh, okay, I guess, okay, sure. uh and it's just kind of, I mean, it's cool, but it is what it is, I guess. I don't know,
LaRue, what about you?
very slapdash, very thrown together. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a choice. I felt like even if they're gonna do this, they could have marketed it in such a way where the expectations wouldn't be so high. They had so much they could have learned from in 2020 or in Persona 25. There's so much they could have learned about correct levels of expectations to reveal ratio. because I too thought it was going to be an entire game, and I was like, wow. I mean, does it make sense for P5 because it's not that one doesn't have a boxer like should have been P3 Reload, I guess, but whatever. And then yeah, as you were saying, like, the more I saw, the more I was like, okay, like what is this?
So so the only cool thing that came from this, and I say that because it is legitimately cool in terms of me being a collector, but oh my god, I will never get one and this sucks, is they are doing a promotion only in Japan. I was like willing to buy this game, by the way, if I had a chance of actually getting it, but it's only in Japan. They are doing 100 copies. If you buy the DLC and post about, like, do this like Morgana Trainer Challenge from January, it was from January 8th to January 17th, you had a chance at getting a exclusive 1 of 100 box art. So they were just going to mail you like a cover for the Fit Boxing 3. And what's interesting is they basically made a version of the cover that is just Joker punching, not even wearing boxing gloves, just Joker punching the Nintendo Switch logo with a random PNG of Morgana in front of him. They all have no eyes because that's just what the series looks like. And I was like, I hate that I want this so bad. Not even only because there's 100. Like they could mass make like 1,000,000 of these, and I would still be like, this is like, I love cover variants. I think that stuff is really fun. I think that's cool. Like, if we can't get its own game, like that's at least like a funny little like piece of history to own. I don't think this will become rare. I don't think this will be anything crazy. Hopefully someone just scans it whenever they end up getting it and we can print it off easily. But as a collector who loves like cover variants, like I was such a sucker for that. Like, did you guys see this cover at all?
I didn't see this cover. I think it just. I think it's just like again the whole thing of like this being the persona, being them deciding to make this persona for some reason. It's just so funny because it's just like Joker isn't known for Joker doesn't punch. He doesn't punch. He has a knife. He has a gun. He doesn't do punches. So it's just funny that it's like, why'd you pick this one? Other than for the obvious reason.
I sent a couple different things, but the last image I sent is the cover of what it looks like. It like very low effort cover, but it's like the fact that it's actually like a official printed thing. I'm like, well, it's cooler than it should be, but I'm sure I will never know anyone who actually gets one.
Mm-hmm.
What about my other fellow collector bro? Does this do anything for you? Are you ready to import a copy of Fit Boxing 3?
Um, See, I hear you. I hear you. It's my thing is that it's weird enough that I want it, but your hope is misplaced. They're never gonna. If a persona person wins it, they will scan it and they will never release it. One of the things I learned about like when I started to be really into like the whole scanning things, like that whole arc of my personality, I learned very quickly that Japanese fans hate that. There's
Yes.
something about it, they just really hate it for some reason. Because I would have like I even had one of the artists literally message me asking me to stop, and that's part of why I stopped. But the other part is I didn't want to get sued. But so I think that this is gonna be one of those things I'm probably never gonna get, and it's gonna just be a thing that only you and I care about, and no one else. Even the winners will not care. So sucks.
I will say, here's an open invitation. If you are in Japan and you win this, I will pay more money than it is definitely worth for you to mail it to me. So please, my DMs are open. I'm ready to make bad decisions.
I think the thing that
Moving on.
gets me, by the way, just before we finish,
Oh
that
yeah.
box art, it looks like he's holding stuff. Is that the Switch controllers or whatever?
I think so. I think
Yes.
it's a
Yeah,
Okay.
because
Joy-Con.
you use the Joy Cons as
Oh, I
like the
see the
boxing
strap.
glove.
I see the strap
Yeah,
around his hand
but
too.
they're like so poorly photoshopped in because, yeah, it's just funny. It looks so cheap in a funny way. I want that.
Other things that were announced, a lot of merch. Shout out though, because I know Larrue, you still have a passionate hatred for all things acrylic. I will say that hoodie fucks. I really liked the 30th anniversary hoodie. The little attention to details they put in there, like with the anniversary logo on the I guess whatever, like the pull-up ties. I thought it looked very clean. I was into it. It looked very cozy. I wish I could have one. None of the merch I plan on importing at all, but it's one of those ones of like, well, if they brought any of the 30th anniversary merch, the T-shirt and hoodie alone, I would be into. But did you guys have any thoughts on any of the like acrylic stands, T-shirts, any of the wearables, the buyables? I'm such a weirdo in the sense of I love collecting weird bullshit, but like acrylics, blind bags, even like non-blind bag acrylics, like I'm like, if I'm in front of it and it's like given to me, I'm like sure, but it's not a thing where I'm like I'm not gonna import this. Like I love some of these new designs, especially some of the like new ones they've been posting recently on social, but like I don't personally need any of it.
I mean, for me, yeah, like I always love the stuff they do with Velvet Room aesthetic. They always do a good job. Like I think every anniversary, there's been at least one cool Velvet Room thing. It's weird that both times it's been pillows, but I'm excited for the Velvet Room pillow. I'm importing that and a couple of the other Velvet Room aesthetic stuff. I want the art piece thing. I always buy those because it's like it's just the art piece, you know. Nothing else really stands out so far. I usually don't like their clothing line in Japan. I like it when they do collabs with actual fashion brands because then it actually looks good. I feel like these look like PNGs on a shirt, and I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
Yeah, just kind of thrown together. Capcom and Sega also, they'll have like on Amazon they'll have those made to order shirts where it's like we just threw a picture, a PNG on a shirt, and then they only make it if you order it. Kind of thing. Like that's kind of what these remind me of.
So you're
Yeah,
describing to me, speaking of weird things Atlus doesn't really plug very much. Do you remember how when Atlus opened up their Atlus Amazon shop last year, and I was excited for 0.1 second until you realized it was literally just, oh, it's all just print on demand bullshit with really low quality.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
No. Rarely will there actually be one of these Amazon shops for some company that has like a T-shirt or something that actually looks good. Rarely.
I will say though, at the end of the like little anniversary live stream they did, uh, I forgot who said it. Who gave was it Wada, right? Who did the anniversary message for the beginning of the new year? I'm pretty sure it was
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wada.
where he's wearing a
Yes.
shirt
So
where I
when,
guess he couldn't button it up all the way.
yeah,
He looks like he's
listening.
struggling.
He's auditioning to be Paul Rudd on the red carpet from 9 years ago. Um, that moment at the end of the stream where he tells the two hosts that they can take anything they want was very funny because it is literally just the two of them being like, oh, because it's like they're all gonna take it anyway, but it's like that is so what I would do in the sense of like, oh, cool, I'm gonna steal this, you can get that, I'm gonna take the pillow, I'm gonna start putting this in the bag, I'm gonna get this in the hoodie. So speaking of Wada, he did do an end of the year message. That one was actually posted in English and everything else worldwide. I uh, these are those weird ones because this has also kind of come up with the anniversary website of I don't know if this makes me sound jaded or what. You guys can tell me because for me it just feels like the biggest definition of a nothing burger. Like his video message and even that little thing on the Persona 30th website of the like uh and more in the future to be continued for the series. It's like we can't I mean, listen, a slow news day is a slow news day, but we can't act like, all right, guys. 'Cause are there people who are looking at this 30th anniversary and genuinely think, you're right, guys, it may be too soon for Persona 6? It's like, what do you think we're doing? It's been 10 years since the last game. What do you think we are doing?
It is no, it's been longer, been like way past longer since P4 to P5, at least in terms of like announcing it and showing something, even if it was just the chair. We've been long past that point. And like people were complaining about how much they milked P4 back then, but like this is just like a whole different level. At least they're like kind of branching out some with the whole with the remakes and such, but it's still just like, come on, like we give us something, move on a little, you know.
Well, and it's not even like I don't think people need to be like hounding them for an announcement. Obviously, something is going to come. My only weird one kind of just comes from the people, like, and this is coming from someone who used to write like video game news stories and stuff with it. Yeah, you can say like if something was getting teased about Persona 6, yes, that is a news story. The website saying more is coming after Persona 4 Revival, it's like, yeah, guys, we weren't going to end the series with the second remake because I guess not. It's just so odd to me of like the energy some people put into things for attention, and it's like, yeah, I mean, I'd rather them talk about the future rather than either hung up on the past or even doing more remakes, but it is that weird thing of like, just because we don't know for certain if either one or both of these games are coming out in a year, which I doubt they are, it's that one of like, we can't just live in a society, like, we can't be like Sonic fans. Like, today that Sonic video came out, and the amount of people it's like, guys, did you watch the anniversary video? Did you watch the anniversary? Yes, and nothing happened.
It
It
was
was a
just
cool video if you like, but like literally nothing happened, and that's fine because you know what? We live in a world where we know Sega pumps out Sonic every year, whether they're ready or not. So we know something's coming, but just because a nothing burger came out doesn't mean you need to make the soy jack face that the nothing burger came out.
Exactly. Well, Sonic fans are just this whole other breed. They're the whole other breed. Hey, I'm just excited that the comics are getting acknowledged in the games now. I'm just excited about that.
That was cool. That was cool. I'll give him that. One
Yeah,
day,
yeah.
one day.
Tangle Whisper, put Starline and Surge.
Larrue, can you put a good word in for getting Fidel on the podcast? Your best friend, your best Sonic friend out there. Can you help me get him on the podcast?
I actually forgot all about his existence till just now. And you know that
Dude,
moment
I don't
when-
know. You are so lucky. I've wanted that dude to be on this show since whatever when I don't know when did the cringe port begging come for Break Free Persona? I forget. Was that like 5 years ago?
Break
That
Free
feels like
Persona
way
is-
longer.
God.
Forgot about
Never forget. That
you
honestly wasn't that might have been did Break Free Persona come out when everyone was really gloom and doom for the 25th anniversary, or was that
I think
earlier?
so.
It was like 2020, so the anniversary is 2021, so it was right before. It was like literally right before, I think. And then
You
everyone
guys
got
don't understand.
disappointed.
You guys don't understand. If the series isn't on every system, it can't break free. Hashtag break free Dino Crisis.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that's very true. I'm actually looking at the break
So yeah, if any,
now for
if
painful
any,
nostalgia.
so yeah, legitimate offer. I have reached out to him unsuccessfully, but if anyone knows or is able to get me in contact, I would love to have Fidel on the show because I love. It's like you ever seen Channel 5 News? You ever seen any of Channel 5 News
Yeah,
like
Channel 5 is
videos?
great. Yeah.
I want to have the equivalent of like not like as a 1-to-1, but like I would love the equivalent of like our sit down and like me talking to Fidel. I want to just like let him just keep going. I'd be like, it'll be the quietest podcast you've ever heard me on. I just have a lot of questions I want to ask this man. So,
Sorry, go ahead.
oh no, you're good. What's up?
I was gonna say, there was a couple other things that I thought were actually pretty decent in terms of the announcements from that broadcast.
Oh, I was saving the best for last. So if it's anything non Hello Kitty related, we can go into that. But was there another one you wanted to bring up before Sanrio?
That I don't know what the So there's a couple things. I like that they brought back the lottery prize thing, but with
They hadn't done that in a while, and those prizes are like legitimately nice.
Yeah, I saw them. I'm like, I usually don't go for Persona figures, but these actually look crazy good, especially the faces. They look like they're supposed to. Because I was looking at some of the P4 ones, and I'm like, wow, they've come a long way. But unfortunately, I don't know if I'll participate because there's acrylic involved. It's like 90% of the prize pool is acrylic. Acrylic slop, by the way. That's what the kids say when they're trying to say something's bad. They call it slop.
They call it slop.
There's another thing that they had announced that I thought was they're already doing the same thing they did last time, where they're announcing cool things, but they're all Japanese exclusive. Like they announced that all the manga is going to be available online, I think, and I think all the
So
anime too. Or
the manga one is cool, but that's a specific asterisk. So the manga one will only be is free online to read the first volume for a limited time. But the more impressive thing about that is the manga they selected, because most people don't know how many different publishers are into all of it, and it kind of feeds
hmm
into a theory I've had since last year. Because remember, I forget the name of the publisher, but the publisher who had either lost or now owns the rights to the P1 manga has been very active about getting their stuff not only put digitally online, but also licensing it to the West. And I'm like, I really feel like that out of all the things that possibly could be coming soon, the P1 manga just seems ripe for it. Because like, we lived in a world where for years I was begging for the Ultimax manga, and then like we've now gotten all those. We've gotten Arena, we've gotten Memento's Mission. Like there's not a lot of big Persona manga out there before they have to start going into the SMT slop. So I think the P1 manga could finally get officially translated, especially with how long some of the other stuff is. The problem is it's still mostly pushed in Japan. It's cool that it's there, but it's one of those ones where like, it's not like Metaphor where it's simultaneously like available. But then even Metaphor's manga is a weird double-edged sword where it's like Metaphor manga is the fastest we've ever gotten Atlus manga translated, and Viz refuses to print it physically, which boggles my mind.
Yeah, I didn't know all that. And the publisher you're talking about, by the way, is Square Enix. They're the ones that owned
Yes,
it.
thank you, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. Which, by the way, wouldn't be wild. Square has sold officially licensed Atlus merch in the West. Like, you want that bedazzled Jack Frost, they'll sell you one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought their Persona clock, the Square Enix Persona 3
Ooh,
portable clock. That's
I still need to buy it. Dude, every time I've seen pictures of that Nahabino, that Square Enix Nahabino was not bad. Like, that was a pretty good figure.
yeah, I bought two of those. This was before it became crazy to import things, so now I don't buy anything. I mean, I feel like but I do feel like the manga thing is cool, especially because I was looking at the Persona 1 manga artist's book that she released. It's like an art book just of all of her art. And I was like, this art is crazy. It's so interesting looking compared to like what we got in the game. So I feel like even that alone makes it worth reading, and I would love to for it to be officially in English. It's not even that short, or not even that long, right? I don't remember how long the
Well,
Persona
the
manga is.
manga is. I don't know if I've seen the art book. So, is there an art book like for the mangaka, or is there an art book specifically for the P1 manga?
It's an art book for all of her work she did for Atlus, because she did the Majin Tensei
Oh,
manga and some other manga that I don't remember, but she did three if I remember
if
correctly.
you ever have the name for it or a link for it, you should send me the name. That'd be one I'd definitely be down to importing, because that's one that
It,
like we almost never get like mangaka art books, which is always such a shame because they're so cool in terms of like obviously like we'll sometimes get like anime art books or game art books with it, but like specifically mangaka just don't get enough like love in terms of like their art just getting like I feel like even maybe the closest thing we get in the West is like we'll get color spreads for like Oda's work, and those are great, but like that's only there because One Piece is so big. It's not like even Naruto only got like one or two of those.
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, for that art book, it's gonna be pretty difficult to find, if only because the art book name is literally just Persona.
Oh no.
You have to type in the art author's name. It's her name. I keep saying her because I think it's a woman. I'm not sure. Shinshu Ueda. Uh, it's yeah. In the manga or in the art book, she draws herself with long hair, so that's what I'm assuming woman, but who knows?
No, that's cool though.
Um,
I had known that they'd worked on other Atlas manga. I had no idea that they had their own art book. I will definitely have to check that out.
yeah, it's really cool too. The only problem with it is that it has spreads, and I really hate that the spreads cover up like part of the manga or part of the art is just like lost because of the gap between the pages. I don't like it when they do stuff like that.
Oh, I hate it when art gets lost in the gutter.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah, the gutter.
Yeah, I hate that. Gosh.
Well, you're gonna hate this book.
That is a gorgeous cover, by the way. It's only like $20 on eBay.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap. And sometimes they might accidentally put other stuff in the art book. Like I got like postcards in mine when I bought it. And I was like, all right. I mean, a win is a win.
So before we get into the Hello Kitty and Friends Talkathon, any other ones I may be forgetting we want to give a shout out to?
I mean, we also have to make sure to note that there's like 3 other coming soon tabs on the events thing. So I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, there's way more, way more.
Yeah, but they're not making the same mistake of like putting 7 like events to look forward to, which I think was a really bad idea last time.
Nah, it just set them up for disaster. It set them up for disaster. They didn't actually have everything. I'm sure they probably at a point actually did have like 7 or whatever the number was. They had enough that was like, these are 7 notable things. It was just clearly, if they did, they fell through, and it bit them in the it came back and bit them in the ass. That was a mistake. Over promised.
If I could just editorialize a little, because this is the video that I'm working on right now. So they teased the anniversary in 2018, and then they teased it again in 2019, and the anniversary was for 2021. So my understanding is Tactica and Reload started development early 2019. So I'm pretty sure that those were supposed to be 2 of the big announcements. And I think that they got pushed back too far because they came out a year after the anniversary events were officially done. So that's my theory. But
this is one that I doubt they will ever get into, because while Japan loves giving percentage updates when a game is announced, Japan is very notorious about hard development timelines. And I will say, it's a lot of he said, she said. I hate when you see like those charts, especially the ones that go around like Persona Central a lot, of like, here's the development timeline of all of these games. And I have bullshit on so many of these of like, if these are even remotely true, it's like, this was a piece of toilet paper of an idea that like made like they like the way that they include pre-production versus actual dev timeline. Like, I remember when they put the one for P3R, and they're like, yeah man, we've been working on P3R since 2018. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Like, like maybe some dude, it's like, yeah, like some dude came up with the logo in 2018. Like, it was like one of those things where it's like, we like, there are so many different facets of development that it's like, you can't just put it on a timeline. It's not black and white.
Yeah, and that's the tricky part, I think. But that is my one Persona conspiracy theory that I'm willing to die on. That's the hill. The only other thing that I thought was cool is the symphonic concert, just because I kind of prefer that for Persona more than like a like a songy dance. Yeah, I don't know.
It's a both. I don't like one over the other. I love having both as an option. By the way, relating
gun to your head, you have to pick one. Which
one? If I have to pick one, then I would say Symphony, just because I haven't had it. I would only do Symphony because I haven't experienced it. But I will say bonus points to Capcom. They did not give me a Resident Evil 9 demo today. Do you know what Capcom announced, speaking of concerts?
I don't know anything about Capcom. Sorry.
Resident Evil
LaRue's over there like, listen, you fucked me on Breath of Fire. I will never talk to you again. I will never talk to you again. So, as part of the Resident Evil 30th anniversary, because as we know, 2026 is the year of holy fuck, oops, all anniversaries.
Yeah.
So, Resident Evil announced that they are doing a symphonic concert, which, by the way, shout out, because speaking of a series that has underrated music, they're doing a 30th anniversary Resident Evil concert, and they're doing it worldwide. I was like, when they announced it, I was like, that's cool, but they're probably never doing it out of Japan. And I'm like, worldwide for that is wild.
That's actually super insane, but that's cool. I want to go.
That's
oh my god, dude! You know what they'll never play? Do you guys know the meme song from Resident Evil 1? Like, I forget the song. The one where it's like,
yeah, no, play the meme.
I love that one. Wait, wasn't the thing the guy was like supposedly deaf or something, and he was composing even though he was losing his hearing or something like that? And it turned out to be a scam.
that song is way more funny than it's any right to me. Like, it's like, what happens if a corgi runs over like the fucking keyboard? Like, that's what that fucking song sounds like.
So what I remember is the whole deal is that he was going deaf, and he like paid someone to ghostwrite for him, and he took the credit. And because once it got found out, they had to like, in the director's cut of Resident Evil 1 that included like DualShock support, they replaced that song because that first song was like tainted because of like legal crap. So he had to come up with a new basement song to replace it. And the prevailing theory for that song is that because he was going deaf, he didn't realize he picked the wrong sound font, because someone switched it into a more appropriate sound font, and it sounds infinitely better. It actually sounds
Hold
like
on,
a Resident Evil song.
I'm gonna play this just because I realize I can actually have it in the audio file if I play it here. Let's see if we get a few seconds of this.
Do it.
I can't even listen to it without laughing. Alright, that's all you get. We're not getting copyright. But yeah, Capcom, if you want free advice, if you start your concert, like it said, like, I forget what it's called, but like, you know when they do the, like, when they're getting ready to start like an actual just imagine, that's the opening warm-up song.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I would actually go to that concert. Imagine this, and then they do it again, like at the end as like a reprise, and it's all dramatic and epic sounding.
That would be by the way, the cojones of like, we fixed the basement song. I'd be like, guys, it took us 30 years, but we found a way to save this song.
I don't know. I think it was perfect the first time.
I only remember I once had a friend who downloaded a RE1 Remake randomizer mod, but the problem was he didn't realize it also randomized the music, and whoever made the mod included that on there. And it was like, imagine playing like this beautiful remake of RE1 and that fucking song comes on. It's like, it just completely takes you out of the moment. But yes, Capcom, bad job on the showcase today. Game still looks great. Please give us a demo. But hey, thanks for the tour. That was cool. The fact that, by the way, that like Capcom can do that, but like, do you guys remember that Sony announced like their big anniversary, like 30th anniversary of PlayStation tour 2 years ago?
Yes.
And then it shit the bed so hard in Europe that before it even came to America, they canceled all the remaining shows.
Yeah, no, it actually they back in September, they actually came to local theater where I live here in my hometown, the town that I live, and it was the sort of thing where it just kind of came and went, and I didn't know it. I know a number of people who would have gone to something like that, and like no one really knew or cared, and then it just like, oh, the bunch of them are just canceled now. Cool. I guess it was a rousing success.
So the thing with the PlayStation concert is, I had a friend who went to the London show, and this is so funny because it's like your PlayStation. Like, literally, you could just say, fuck it, we're playing Bloodborne music, and you would get 1 million people to be there. But like, all they advertised it with was Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, Horizon, and I don't know, fucking Knack. Like, there was no old representation. It was mostly just all current Sony stuff, and like Uncharted.
It was kind of like the epitome. It was the epitome of what's wrong with like modern PlayStation in terms of like.
I mean, listen, all of those games have legitimately good soundtracks, like God of War, Bear McCree, like all of those have great soundtracks. But like, that's not, when you think of 30 years of PlayStation, you're not just thinking of that.
No,
like,
that's what I mean.
Someone wants to hear Twisted Metal, someone wants to hear Jack and Daxter, someone wants to hear fucking Folklore. Like, they want to hear the weird PlayStation shit. Well, that's a Microsoft concert now. Sucks to be you.
Shut up.
But yeah, so the thing, and you would especially hate this, both of you, is the concert was, they did not have a full suite orchestra. They had large amounts of music just being played by speaker, and it was mostly just watching a screen with B-roll of the games as it was going to in no particular order, and you had like maybe half of a full orchestra accompanying the video with the speaker. It was just like, hey, we brought the high school band here to do a cover of this 5 games. Enjoy.
I mean, that
Jeez.
actually sounds like the optimal way to listen to this music that I grew up in love, you know?
Nothing says nostalgic, more like, here's my AMV I made in Microsoft Movie Maker.
We gotta get Headstrong by Trapped over some Kingdom Hearts footage.
No, Kingdom Hearts, they don't fuck around with that. That's some good concert experience.
No,
But
those are, yeah, absolutely.
speaking of peak, we've saved the best for last. Atlus, and by the way, I need you all to know that this entire conversation, at least from my perspective, will be 1,000% serious. They announced that, I think at least for the first time ever, that Persona was doing a collaboration, and they're doing a pop-up shop for the 30th anniversary of Persona. They're doing a Sanrio collab, and they announced this by having all of the main characters, not you, Wander, um, from Persona 1 all the way to Persona 5, teamed up with their own representative, either like friend or Sanrio character. And the best part about this was like the choices all seemed perfect. Like this like seemed like a thing that was like I was shocked they've never done. The choices seemed really, really good. And the cherry on top for that, like literally, like Larrue, you were the first person I sent this to as soon as I saw it, because when I saw who they picked for Persona 1, I was like, if I was like, I was like, I don't know if I was the first person who sent that to you, but I was like, this was so on the nose for you. I was just waiting for you to be like, oh, I know, I picked it. Like I had a hand in it. It was like I don't know anyone else who would look at like Bats Maru and be like, you know who I think of when I think of cool penguins? Persona 1 boy with earring.
No, that you were the first person, and honestly, it is so fitting. You don't understand how happy that made me more than anything else announced for this anniversary. I'm like, they could have just ended it right there. Like, if they don't announce anything after this, I'm fine. I have boy with earring Bats Maru, you know?
It's like it's wild too, because like you got cucked recently. So the last time Bats Maru even had anything major in the West in terms of merchandising was that McDonald's Yu-Gi-Oh set, and they specifically didn't bring over Bats Maru. They only like had him in Canada.
Yeah, which insane, and I didn't even bother trying to import it. I was like, like whatever.
So
I guess I lose.
Sanrio and Hello Kitty Friends do collabs like all the time, especially these like 2 character pair up ones they do. Like especially it's a lot more common in anime. Like the most recent one I can remember that like we bought a lot of stuff for is they did like Jujutsu Kaisen, and they've done a bunch of different anime collabs before like this. But it was one for me that I was like, it's so weird that it took them so long to do this. But ironically, especially with like how extremely popular like so many of these characters are, like the choices for everybody seemed really, really good. I am gonna screw this up because there's one that I don't know the name of because she's kind of a deep cut. Um, we had Bats for Persona 1. We've got Kuromi for Persona 2. Innocent Sin, we got Kuromi. My Melody got Eternal Punishment. And then for Persona 3 was Cinema Roll, which I was a little surprised about, but I love him, so he's great. The one I don't remember, what's the name of the rabbit that P3P got?
It's Wish Me Mel. That's the name. It's a very obscure one.
Which almost kind of it makes it more perfect because I've seen so many people so happy. Well, that P3P like Femc now has new art and is getting love and appreciation, which by the way is great that we're including her in the anniversary. Just continues to really rub the salt on the wound of Persona 3 Reload. Like I get it, we've talked about it a million times. What it is, it is so weird coming off of Reload to now have all these great like new pieces of art for her, but whatever. Persona 4, we've got Pom Pom Purin, and then Persona 5. I will say, weirdly, I think Joker getting Hello Kitty, I don't think that they gave Hello Kitty to Joker just because he is the latest or maybe more popular out of all the protagonists. I actually kind of feel like aesthetically they sort of fit. I like all the pairings. They didn't seem forced. Um, I'm gonna save Mac for last to not throw him under the bridge, but please, Larrue, let us know how did you feel at this initial reveal without even getting into the pop up shop stuff. Like as a closeted or at least quiet Sanrio fan, how did you feel about it?
It's funny because I showed my friends, my real life friends. I've like never talked to them about Atlus stuff ever. Like they don't engage
This
with
was
my
it. This is the
yeah
breakthrough moment.
yeah. So I was like, oh my god, the one thing I like with the other thing I like. And they were like, I'm so happy for you, and I'm like, I know. It's genuinely the cool because they did. If I remember correctly, they did a Sanrio thing before with Persona 5, right? Where it wasn't paired with the characters. It was just like Sanrio made merch of like Persona 5,
I'll
right?
look
Yes,
it
I
up. I'll double
vaguely remember
check.
something like that.
Because with that, I was like excited to see anything like basically what we're getting now. I was excited to see that, and then when it wasn't that, I was like, oh, okay. It was just like some weird, not even Sanrio art style thing that looked ugly. Actually,
Oh, I've got it here. It's like I'm pulling up the image. I'm gonna show it over. The art style was really weird. I
it's
don't.
well, weird is the nice way to put it. Ugly is the correct. And they and
This
sorry, I'm just losing my mind because they gave Bats Muruta Joker at first, and I didn't even notice that.
That's
Huh?
funny. Also, fucking blink and you miss it. Zoom in 300%, Jarvis. We've got Morgana the size of a pea is Hello Kitty,
That's more.
which seems so backwards. It's like so we're
Oh
giving
my
Hello Kitty to
god.
Morgana because they're a cat, but we're going to draw them the size of a shoe.
That is
See, okay,
like
this one has more obscure stuff. Who is the thing with Haru? What is that vile creature?
No,
Pink.
Haru is My Melody when her ears are down. So there's
Oh,
two. No, sorry. Yeah. So My Melody can have like ears up like a bunny or ears off down to the side. They're both versions of My Melody, though.
then what is the thing that Futaba has? It's like two conjoined twins or something.
I want to. They're the angel twins who
I'm
count
sorry,
as one character. Let
I'm
me
like
look at their
testing your
name.
knowledge. I'm like forcing you to like
Oh,
recall
dude,
every.
no, I'm bad. I mean, cause like I know some. Like, listen, I know Hongidon. Like, I know some of them, but like I'm not a Sanrio deep lore master. But let me see.
Gotcha.
So yeah, the twin angels are.
I want to see if
Let's
the
see
collab
here.
event thing is still. It's just weird. Like
It's they go by little twin stars. That's why I was like I remember like their usually name is twin something, but their names are Kiki and Lala, but they're just they usually
uh,
mostly go by little twin stars.
all right. I mean, I do like this thing. I think that the initial announcement was cool just because the pairings make way more sense than this Persona 5 one ever did. Um, I think in addition, I think there's one art piece that has them with like random stuff near them that's relevant to them. Because you got like Tatsuya with like the Joker mask, and then Maya with Mr. Bun Bun or whatever the bunny's name is. And I think it's just like
Oh yeah.
it just feels it feels really like thoughtful. Like this is probably the most fan art I've seen of Tatsuya in recent memory too, because people really like that idea of pairing them two together. But oddly, I
Yeah,
haven't seen anything.
and that's always the funny one about like when Sanrio do these collabs, it's so weird of like how much it just sparks people to then just be like, "Oh, well now I'm just going to make like little fan comics of like these two characters interacting together." Just cuz it's like it either will attract fans of one or both and just it kind of creates like this self-feeding cycle.
Yeah, which is it's interesting. It's I've never seen the two fandoms interact, and I'm like, oh, I didn't realize how much fan art Sanrio fans generate. But it's like a lot because I'll look at the art and I'm like, oh, look at this Persona fan art. Then I'll click on it and I'm like, oh, this is a Sanrio fan. Like you're in enemy territory, buddy.
I will
But
say, the fact that they're also doing it as its own pop up shop is cool. They're doing it for like such a super short amount of time at the end of January.
mhm.
I would feel bad if it wasn't for the fact that they're doing the Larue special of Oops All Acrylic Slop. So
Yeah,
most of it is just keychains and like little buttons and standees, where it's like My gut,
Yeah.
especially because of how popular both these brands are in the West, I would not be shocked if you see these designs pop up at like a Box Lunch or a Hot Topic or like some website online where it's like, this would print so much money on T-shirts in the West over here.
Yeah. It's weird that they haven't, like, that's one of the pieces of merch I was anticipating was t-shirts or like like even at least one of them, like if it was just Joker, like a Hello Kitty Joker would probably go crazy just because it's two crazy popular characters together. I'm kind of surprised by that, but I'm also mad that it really is all acrylic. They're like, what's the worst, most low effort thing we can do with all this amazing art we made?
It's the
I,
it's the
I
thing
know.
that feels the most like just garbage in a landfill out of
Yes,
all the it feels like it's primed to be like trash to me.
I mean, you're not
Not me,
wrong.
not me looking at all the acrylics on my desk right now.
All the trash.
Don't worry, Spencer. Your acrylics are not trash. They're treasure.
Thank you.
Only
Thank
yours.
you. My Nami acrylic is pure. She's a pure acrylic.
And it's funny too because if someone gave me this, like if someone, because some people have given me merch before, they're like, oh, I remember you saying you like this guy, so I gave him to you. I'd be like, oh, cool. If someone gave me the Tatsuya, I'd be like, or the boy with earring, I'd be like, all right, thanks. And then it's gonna just go in my closet with all the other junk that I never look at. Cause yeah,
I'm gonna be
unfortunately.
real though, especially
Mhm.
just because we talked about becoming YouTube grifters. I feel like the views alone just going to this pop-up shop would make it worth it. A, because I would want to go as a fan, but like, dude,
Mhm.
I messaged like my buddy who is gonna hopefully try to go because like he does like those Japanese vlogs and stuff, and it's Genki
Oh.
Gamer who I've had on here a couple times, and like those always are so popular with like Westerners just because it's like, oh cool, like looking at like the electronic shops or like looking at different like pop-up events and stuff. Like he went to the Death Stranding 2 one last year, and it's like, dude, like just like click through wise like alone, it's like people like looking at Atlus limited event shops. People like looking at stuff like this. Like this shop might probably, and like judging by the short time span it's open and how limited the stuff they're offering is, I bet you it's probably pretty small. But it is one of those things where it's like, oh, I mean, like I would watch that. Like I would want to go. I would want to look at that with it, just because it's that thing of like this is such a cool thing that we would never get in the West. Like we might get some of the items, but we would never do like a dedicated pop up shop.
Yeah, for sure. It just sucks that it's on Slop.
But yeah, Mac, has this very elongated topic since the pre-recording the show, have we sparked your interest in learning more about the Sanrio Friends universe?
No?
Boo, bad answer. Well, I'm glad you're honest, but we're gonna do. I talked with you a little bit about this because honest to God, Larrue and I could honestly just be doing fan casting as a whole episode of the podcast.
Yes.
So instead, I'm going to make it a quick one and we'll do it a group collaboration between Shin Megami Tensei 1, 2, 3, 4, Apocalypse, and 5. Who would you pair each pro tag with for the SMT comparison?
Demi-Fiend would be Shinkansen.
Who?
The train. I can't say
Why
I
is there
hate that.
train?
Listen, dude, there are some Garbo Sanrio friends.
I
Like
know
there are
there's a
some that they
fish,
did not
right?
try.
There's like a tuna guy. Okay. we need like a
I'm gonna
roster
try
to
and
go
pull
off
it up.
of. We need a roster.
So
We need a.
I'll pull up a roster, but I'm gonna pull up one that I thought of for a while when I was thinking about this, and I don't know if you guys would feel like it would vibe with it at all. My gut, whenever I look at Nanashi from Apocalypse, I get like a Gretzko vibes. I feel like a Gretzko would be like a good pairing for them.
Gretzko in general feels a bit more appropriate for SMT, just in general. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I like. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, but the other one, I mean, Batsmaru fits for like many pro tags too. I would almost put Batsmaru with. I almost want to go with dang, it's kind of hard because who I almost want to say it would go with Demi-Fiend, but you already gave Agretzka. No, you said that for. Wait, who did you say it for?
No,
Sorry,
no, Demi-Fiend's a train. He's an Autobot now.
Yes,
See the
Demi-Fiend's an
the train.
Autobot.
That's crazy.
It's because he starts the game getting off a train.
No, he starts the game in the train station. We don't know if he actually got off the train. He could be lying.
True.
The
He
game
could have
could be
just like
lying.
wandered. He could have just like ran through the tunnel.
Okay. So the more I look at the actual Sanrio characters, I'm like, there's none. Like, like, is there a none answer? Like, none of them could be any.
Listen, Larrue, you look me in the eye and you tell me that the main protagonist from SMT2 would not be a perfect Peter Davis.
The fact that I have to look up Peter Davis right now in 2026.
I only remember Peter Davis because that just sounds like the most John Doe name for a character like ever.
Yeah, I like that. Sounds like you're just making that up. Like who?
No,
really thought he
Peter
was making it
Davis.
up, but
Peter
not.
Davis is a real character. He has
Peter
he has a top hat and a.
Yeah, Peter Davis is literally just Hello Kitty, but the bow is on its chest now.
Yeah.
It's like, all right. That's insane. That's I hate that exists. Actually, I resent that. Okay, I'm looking at the listing. There is a couple of there's a couple of characters that I feel like fit, but they're like so obscure. I've never heard of Yoshi Kitty, but I feel like that would be a left. It's like a Hello Kitty, but like metal or something.
Not that any of mine have been joke answers. Do you guys? Well, all right, Larry, you know at least who Ushihana is, right?
Yeah, the America rabbit.
I would give Usahana to Nahabino just because like the colorful motif and like multiple different like long ears, long strands, different colors.
This is a kind of weird one, but I feel like Peckle should be that one would be the protagonist from the first game. He just gives like, oh, I'm just here going to say hi to my mom, and then they're like, oh, your mom's dead. That's what Peckle looks like to me. The penguin. I think it's a penguin. Yeah, penguin or duck.
Hot take. By the way, I have always thought Chococat way too not cool for how mainstream they try to make him. Like he's not like he's not even near the top like 10 normally. But like Chococat, I'm like, dude, what are you doing here? You're just a dude. Also, yes, Dark Grape Man is real. Please don't at me.
Okay, there's some like really insane things. So I was right. There is a sushi Hello Kitty character. It's Karimi-chan. It's literally just a sushi with a body. Pachoko also kind of gives protagonist energy. Maybe it's just because
I will say it was a weird choice they gave Pachoko to Akechi last time. That just felt to me like we're just slapping popular ones on and people at this point.
Yeah, that one doesn't make sense. Pachoko with Flynn, or Pachoko with I think.
Oh
Flynn,
yeah, I could see that. Also, just because he gives vanilla energy similar to Peter Davis, and I mean this in the most genuine way possible, Dear Daniel, I feel like we have to give to SMT1's pro tag, just because he's like, who is just a dude? Okay, Dear Daniel, aka Hello Kitty's boyfriend, is like, yeah, sure, there you go.
He really is. Okay, that makes sense. We need the two. So maybe the little twin stars for the SMT if because it's a boy and a girl.
Oh, that would actually pairs well. That makes sense.
That would work.
I'm really trying so hard to find an appropriate one for So I don't know if you guys can hear my cat because he's like begging for food.
No.
Who else are we missing? We have Nahabino.
Yeah, I think we got everybody because we got our fucking Shikansen over here. But no, we got 1, 2, 3.
Oh, right.
You did Flynn, we did Nanashi, and then Nahabino's already done. So we're set. We got them all, and you got If.
Yeah. Oh no, we didn't do Strange Journey.
No.
You're right. Yeah. What fucking monstrosity are we gonna give that guy?
Give him Shinkansen.
I'm not gonna. No, I'm not gonna.
No.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Strange Journey, and I'm gonna blame it on Larrue. Strange Journey deserves Dark Great Man.
You know what? Let's go with that.
He sticks out.
It kind of works.
He
and I
sticks
hate that it
out
works.
so much. It's because he sticks out so much. Like literally, that's why. Anytime there's ever Strange Journey merch, it literally looks like when you're playing with your toys and someone like chucked a GI Joe in there. I'm like, are you sure you're supposed to be in here, bud?
Dark Great Man genuinely looks like someone just took Hello Kitty into like MS Paint and just started messing with it, and that was the result.
What would you do if I told you Dark Great? What would you do if I told you Dark Great Man actually started as someone's OC?
Did it really?
That would make sense.
No, but I'd believe it.
Yeah. See, the fact that I was already like, oh yeah, really? I mean,
to be fair, I feel like you could have believed I'm fucking with you when I started saying Peter Davis and wasn't joking.
I mean, I'm looking at the names now, and there's two characters named Patty and Jimmy. Patty and Jimmy are characters. They're canon characters. Why these names are so something, and they have Mokuba.
You're gonna look me dead in the eye and say Winky Pinky #number 69 is not a serious character.
Is Winky Pinky supposed to be a cat? What is it?
Winky Pinky is an artist who is also a cat, but also do not ask Sanrio characters what they are, because canon answers for what characters are just makes people upset. Like how Hello Kitty isn't actually a cat. According to the Hello Kitty company, Hello Kitty is a girl who dresses up as Hello Kitty, and it's very upsetting. I don't like it.
That is upsetting.
That's
What
very
happened to that one? There was like a ghost thing, wasn't there? I remember there being like a ghost animal.
It
Like-
sounds right. And I mean, that
Okay.
picture I sent you guys is from 2018, so I can just
Oh,
put in
maybe
like
ghost
Ghost
animals, yeah.
Sanrio friend.
Yeah, some of these suck. Like some of these genuinely.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know if this is the one you're thinking of. Like, it looks like Cinnamon Roll with like a halo, and he's got like angel wings. His name is Hana. I'm just gonna say this. You know, it's Hanamaru Bake.
Yes, that's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, he's basically like a dead. He looks like a dead cinema roll. By the way, we're gonna finish this on this, because I learned this last year for the first time, and I've been around. I know my way around the Sanrio block.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this makes me hard R stupid, but like I didn't know until a few months ago. Mac, Cinnamon Roll is not his name. I thought it was literally Cinnamon Roll.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
Cinema Roll.
Cinema Roll.
Yeah, it's Cinema Roll. It's like a child.
That was when someone told me that, that was my Bernstein Bears moment. I was like, did I get dropped on the head? I could have sworn, and I've been saying him my whole life. Oh, it's Cinnamon Roll. It's Cinnamon Roll. No one ever called me out. No one ever said, look at that idiot calling him by the wrong name. I'm dead naming Cinema Roll over here. And then I forget who it was, one of the MCs on the Persona live stream. She said, did you know I recently found out his name is Cinema Roll? And I said, thank you, random guest person. I feel so validated. Because I was like, I'd literally never been called out before in my life. But the fact that this like poor woman I've never met in Japan also was an idiot with me about how his name was, I've never felt more justified in my whole life.
I mean, the other names that they've used in this franchise makes it so it's completely understandable. It's so, but at the same time, Cinnamoroll is just QB from from Madoka Magica. That's literally the same character.
Well, on that horrific note, we need to get into the actual main topic of the podcast. But Mac's already writing up a draft for the Avengers Endgame equivalent for Sanrio, which will be horrifically cursed. Mac, what should we call that?
Call it ultimate ultimate Sanrio. Just screw it. Ultimate Sanrio.
Man,
Absolute
he
Sanrio.
tried. He tried.
Absolute Sanrio. Absolute.
Can you
Hello
just
Kitty.
imagine? Can you imagine at
She's
the end of
built
the
like a
live
brick
action Hello
house.
Kitty movie?
But like a
Can you
literal
imagine
brick
at
house.
Mac, are you ready for at the end of the Hello Kitty live action movie? The text will appear. Cinema Roll will appear in the next Avengers Doomsday movie.
Cinema Roll will return in Avengers Doomsday.
Word of advice, everyone: if your significant other's favorite Sanrio character is Peter Davis, they are a serial killer. It's not even a red flag; it's just they have actually killed someone at that point. So please be careful out there. On to the main topic of the show. 9 hours later, Atlus 2026 predictions. We're gonna go in a circle with our predictions here, and I feel especially with the last topic, I did you dirty. So, Mac, I will let you go first. The only rules and stipulations with the only rules and stipulations with the predictions are they have to be either related to Atlus, things that you think Atlus will do or will sort of be around there. Please shoot us your first prediction.
Okay. My first prediction is that Atlus will do something weird that will feel like Sega told them to do something and they just like decided, okay, we'll do this.
Too vague.
It is vague, yes, but as coming off specifically the idea of when P3 Reload with its DLC, the whole season pass thing, that screamed Sega just like telling them we gotta do some kind of season pass if you're gonna do any kind of DLC. So if you want something more specific, what I'll say is I think we will not, unfortunately, not get something P6 like any kind of tease.
You think you are looking me dead in the eye. You think legitimately the entire rest of the year, there will be nothing P6 uttered, said, teased, or announced? That's a bold prediction. I'll take that.
I think not. They won't do it because they won't do anything until after Revival is out. At most, what we'll get is like some vague statement that is like, okay, that's teasing, but it won't be something like, like an actual concrete, like, chairs. We won't get chairs. At best,
I'm just ready for if you roll credits on P4R, the green paint bucket pops up at the end and it just says I will be back.
I will be back. No. The blue paint bucket shows up and then it mixes with the yellow and turns it green.
Damn. Fuck you, colorblind people. All right, I'll take that. That's a good prediction. That's a spicy one that I want to say will 100% be wrong, but I can't prove you wrong. That's a great one for it. So
I purely think it's just because they're gonna wait until after P4R that cycle goes, and I don't think they want to distract from P4R. By being
P4R is such an interesting game right now because, again, going back to what do people know as well as development timelines and stuff, ironically, ever since we have found out, or it has been very highly speculated that Tosei is working on P4R, that actually has made me more confident that I could actually see it coming out this year, because that team is a fucking workhorse. On our last episode, we did our fantasy critic
this year, if not early next year, like P3 did.
Yeah, that's my other thing. It's like I think it would be, if it came out this year, it's coming in hot. Mm-hmm. If there's anything to go off for it, but that team is known for cranking stuff out, and obviously a lot of the hard work was already kind of done there. I don't know, Larrue, what about you? Where are you at in the P4 before we get to the P6 side of it? Where are you at in terms of the realistically, when do we think P4R is dropping?
I think it's gonna get announced this year and dropping next year. That's my thing.
You mean they're actually going to give it a good trailer that doesn't look like Xbox put a gun to their head 2 days before?
Yeah, I think, and the thing that sucks though is I feel like what we got was probably the start of what they're gonna build off of. So I think that the rest of it's still gonna look kind of like that, which is sad. But I do think that they're actually gonna lock in, and they're gonna release it literally like next year.
I think
I could. Oh yeah.
I really do think it's going to occupy the same space as P3R did, where it will release in like late January, early February, Q1 specifically. It'll release in Q1 2027.
Well, remember, that is right before their fiscal year ends, so that way they still can count it as fiscal year 2026.
Exactly. So technically quarter 4, but quarter 1 of the year.
I'm and again, why rush it out this year, especially in a year where GTA 5, GTA 6 is coming out? So it's like that was actually one of the things we didn't get really into it very much, but last week we did our fantasy critic draft league picks, and we made it almost to like the second to last round before someone grabbed P4R, because I think while all of us believe it's coming and will review highly, even though this year has so many question marks, I think undoubtedly no one is expecting that game within even the first 9 months of this year, and it just seems like it would be suicide to put it out in the fall.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Larrue, what about? Actually, here before we do that, what about? Do you have any thoughts on Mac's prediction of no P6 mention this year?
60% chance it's not gonna get announced. I think there's a pretty good probability that it won't get announced. But that ties into my guesses for this year though. So I don't know. I don't know if
No,
you
yeah,
wanna. I don't know.
go into it, because my only reason I really just want them to just shit and get off the pot with announcing P6 at this point isn't even because I need people to like know that it's coming. Like, I know people will still talk about it. The one thing, it's just like I've just known this for so long, and it's one of those ones of like, unless you know, you don't know. It just still boggles my mind that people out there don't know that there are multiple teams working on these big projects. Even something like obviously when you see something like how P3R and P5 Tactica got announced at the same time, no one was like, oh, well, that's clearly by the same team. Whereas like P6 getting announced before P4R kind of like would be a good double whammy, in the sense of like how we had that year with Persona 3 getting announced and Metaphor, of just being like, oh, okay, like we can do two big projects without them affecting each other in terms of slowing things down.
No, yeah. I mean, so getting into like my aspirations, my thing is we already know that there's multiple teams. We know that much. We also know that generally speaking, the kind of like output usually is, especially lately, has been pushing out enhanced versions of games simultaneous to a remake or re-release of some kind, simultaneous to a new title altogether. Like I think that with this calendar year, I think that there's going to be at least 2 announcements regarding Persona. I think one is Persona 4 for sure. I think they're going to announce the actual like release date. Um, and I think that they'll probably announce a remaster or remake project for Persona 1 and 2. Not all together, but one or the other. Or like it'd be really crazy if they did both. And the only reason I think that, the only reason why I think that is because it rated highly in the polls. It's one of the only ones that hasn't been approached yet. All of the staff are saying weird things about, oh, we're starting to work on the next project, or we're excited to share what's next, which tells me that it might be a thing where like they're really buckling down on development of this, because I have a hard time believing it's Persona 6 or Persona 4 that is demanding all the time, because you already have delays in things like the next Etrian game that was teased like what 10 years ago now.
Oh my
You,
god,
dude,
yeah, that was so long ago.
yeah, that I will say those end of the year messages are always such an interesting, like, you can sometimes get nuggets, but I think sometimes people put a little bit too much, like,
For sure,
they
yeah.
they they put a little bit too much thought into them, in the sense of when Famitsu is asking for these messages, it's not like these are going through the PR pipeline. Like, they know not to announce anything. Like, it's not like in 2024 the producer on Raido Remastered was like, "Well, I'm feeling extra sleuthy that next year." Like, they're not doing like teases like that, even though it's
Yeah.
like stuff that they know is coming out. I think the ones that always are the most telling are for the projects that are the most far away, as opposed to the ones that are teasing maybe like specific series. Because what I was really surprised about with all the messages this year, that I was surprised people didn't talk about, was I genuinely think, and it's not a surprise, especially in a year that has a major Persona anniversary, I feel like we are way farther away from the next SMT mainline game than people might assume. because
I
I
think that
think
too. Yeah.
the time
Same.
I think the time and effort they put into Vengeance, while 100% was needed, I think that was the kind of time, effort, and manpower that would have started 6, and there's not a team that they would just be like, oh, well, you guys start 6. We're going to fix 5. It's like, no, no, no. You're going to want that team who learned those lessons, who they built up 4 or 5, to then, after Vengeance, go into the next one, which realistically, like at this point, and I don't think it's crazy to assume, I wouldn't be shocked if we don't hear anything about SMT, or not hear anything, but at least don't see it release until 2030.
I wouldn't go that far.
I
My
wouldn't go
No, no,
2030,
again,
but definitely like we wouldn't hear anything until like 2028 maybe.
and that's why I wanted to be like release, just because like I am sure that they will announce it much sooner than 2030, but like just knowing how that team has worked and what they're going to do, like unless they are going in a lot more of an iterative sequel, which the only reason I would assume they don't do with 5, I think they're going to iterate in a lot in the gameplay department, but the jump that's just going to happen whether people want it to or not, that we are not going to get another mainline SMT game that's still on Unreal Engine 4. I think you can still use Unreal Engine 4 for stuff like another remake like P4R, but you're not going to make SMT, like there's
No.
no way in hell they're making SMT6 on UE4 still.
No.
Yeah, maybe. The other part of my year predictions is that this is just a really big year for Atlus in general. I like made a tweet about it because it's the Persona 30th, the Persona 5 10th, Persona 3rd 20th. This was no one cares about this, but Burikura Daisaku-sen, it's their 30th anniversary. Atlus's 40th anniversary overall, the 40th anniversary of their first ever game, 20th anniversary for Raito, 20th anniversary for Trauma Center, 10th anniversary for SMT4 Apocalypse, and then probably the least important is the SMT5 5th anniversary. They don't really celebrate like those. They usually celebrate 10s and 20s, 30s, and whatever. So I'm just like, the fact that one of the other Atlas staff brought up that there's so many anniversaries tells me that they're gonna do something, but I don't think it's gonna be anything huge. I think it's gonna be stuff like stuff dropping on Spotify, like the more OSTs on Spotify, and potential just like in like ports exactly as they were rather than like enhanced at all, because that might be better, especially but I feel like there's a lot of stuff that's going to happen that aren't really necessarily Persona nor SMT related this year. I think there's going to be at least like a one or two non SMT related things coming.
I
That's my biggest prediction.
I think there is a pretty decent chance that we haven't seen the last of the current Raito revival, that there is going to be more going on with that. What form? I don't know, but I do think there is going to be something Raito coming beyond just the one HD remaster.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they definitely are with
yeah,
that
why
too.
wouldn't well,
Hmm.
here's the thing. They are 100% working on 2. I think man, Rhino Remastered, it is such a damned if you do, damned if you don't, because they almost had like the opposite problem Soul Hackers 2 had, of like they almost had too much time to cook on it, releasing it not even like again the 19th anniversary of Rhino 1. Okay, we'll let that be the remaster year. Like we'd known about this thing for years. It was a very poorly kept secret, but they had made such a generally agreed upon like really great remaster of this that everyone would want to right away. My only thing that I think would slow down or at least highly butcher 2 coming sooner, or what kind of work's going to go into 2, is obviously less work would be needed comparing, because a lot of Raito Remastered is just taken from Raito 2. It is undeniable Raito Remastered sold really bad. Like again, when your comparable sale numbers are Soul Hackers 2, not a good sign. That was our moment of silence for Ryder Remastered, everybody. Please buy it now.
Mhm.
On sale for $34.99.
Well, I mean,
I
it's
don't
sad
think...
too, actually, because to me the Rhino 2 sales are sad because it really does say a lot about how some Atlas fans fake the funk in terms of their hype for things, because that would have been one of the easiest things to buy, especially because I don't think the price point was that crazy. And
Oh,
then
$50 was a steal for that game. No, yeah,
Yeah.
I think the the bummer, there were a lot of little things that I think were like, it was death by a thousand cuts in terms of why Ryder Remastered didn't hit. I think the biggest culprit, it was could have been released at the perfect time, but was just shoved into too busy of a month with too many other bigger games that demanded attention. Like, it released the same month the Switch 2 launched, which ironically, because this was something that was teased possibly or mistakenly teased in Asia, remember there was those advertisements where they updated Ryder Remastered coming to Switch 2, and they had post with a little asterisk saying available at launch for the Switch 2, and then other consoles got it then. I think if they had just sucked it up and made that a Switch 2 launch system, that the sales would have been genuinely way, way, way better, because instead they released at the end of June, a week between an already announced free Persona 5 game that got considerably way more marketing, cannibalizing all of those sales. And so everyone, if whether they had a Switch 2 or not, were going to be like, oh, well, now I want to play Death Stranding. Oh, well, now I want to play the Arc Raiders beta. Or, oh, I want to do this. Or I want to play the free game that Atlus is releasing in a week from now. Like, there were so many clear, almost like you would almost not be ashamed for thinking it's like self-sabotage at the point. Like, literally, I need people to, you know, I talked about this earlier in the year with like Krista, like, no better proof to show that P5X is not an Atlus game than the fact that they released those two games a week apart. Like, what the like, literally, what the fuck are you doing?
Mhm. Mhm. Agreed.
yeah, and it's
And,
just, but then that's kind of like the tradition of Atlas. They tend to like have like some of the worst launch times and the worst marketing campaigns, in my opinion. It's like either they bet on the wrong horse a lot, like 40 years of betting on the wrong horse, it feels. But I
oh,
don't know.
I wanted to go back to the anniversary thing with you. Also, I love the idea that because of it being their 40th year, unfortunately, and I don't know if this is fair because of how busy of a year it launched in. Do you remember how they really leaned into that 35 years of Atlus games with Metaphor's release?
Yeah, I do remember that. It was weird.
Yeah.
I liked that they were doing that. The problem is it felt like outside of Metaphor, the whole motif of 35 years of Atlus never felt like it paid off. And
Yeah.
outside of a really cool designed book and a lot of nice callbacks, we had no acknowledgement of Atlas's history. We had like honestly, and I remember like even talking to a couple friends in publishing trying to make it happen and it just couldn't get off the ground. Like, that book shouldn't have fucking been tied to a game. Like, that book should have just been released. Like, that was such a great book and a cool piece of history on that company, but like, that a book is the least that we could do. Like, I feel like Atlus is definitely one of those companies that has such a cool, weird history, especially in their early days, that doesn't get enough love. Like, I don't know if you guys are aware of like Digital Eclipse and stuff, but like they do have done a lot of that like cool compilation works and like documentary style, and a great project that I think would even translate well to Atlus's weirder history was like, look at a game like Atari 50. We're going to take games from all 50 years of Atari's legacy, make a documentary about it, let some of them be playable. Obviously, some of the more licensed ones you're not going to be able to, but like, get some of the stuff they did on the computer, get some of their PC stuff, get some of their Famicom stuff, get some of their Super Nintendo things, PlayStation stuff. Like, get some of these weird games they still own the rights to or are still able to release that they published and worked on in Japan, bring them over to a worldwide audience, celebrate that history. But it's like, the unfortunate reality, at least for me, and like you guys tell me if like I seem out in the wild with it, Atlus, at least in a Western sense, isn't interested in celebrating their history as much as they are celebrating the history of their popular IP. They don't think of it, they don't think of Atlus fans as their own category. They think, "Oh, well, you're a Persona fan." Like they don't
Mm-hmm.
think of you as, "Oh, well, you're a Trauma Center fan." You're a you're like you're someone who's going to be thinking of like all their other works with it. Like, "Oh, are you a Radiant Historia fan? Are you a Etrian fan? Are you a blah blah blah?" Like all of these other ones with it. It's like, "Fucking man," and I joke about this a lot, but it's real. There's fucking Friday the 13th fans out there. There's fucking people who only love Rockin' Cats. There are NES only Atlus fans out there in the world. There may not be a lot of them, but like there's multiple generations who aren't just Persona 5 fan.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's kind of why I was saying like one of the other things that doesn't matter or is not no one cares about is their first game, Galaxy Odyssey. It's an amazing little weird game with a really really good soundtrack, and no one cares. Like I'm probably the only person in the world who imported the CD when they re-released it last year. I don't think anyone even no one cares. And that the other thing I was thinking about though is that since 4 is kind of like an unlucky number, I'm not sure if they're gonna even celebrate their anniversary in a big way because it's like 40, you know.
The death
So
year,
yeah,
Mac. It's the year they
yeah,
died 10 times.
finally.
Atlas burns. Atlas burns. Everything is lost.
It
No
just it,
Then
going
I,
it
back.
just sucks because
then I
it
could go
just
back to
sucks
being a
because
Pokemon YouTuber.
Hell yeah.
oh no, I can't wait for Larue's review of Pokemon ZA Legends Mega Dimensions DLC.
It's
Coming any day
sick.
now. I was imagining like you'd have like you know that like really cringy thing like written reviews always do where they have like a pun in the title. It'll be like your review subtitle will be like do not buy this DLC. See if you guys play the DLC, it's all about donuts, but people didn't buy it, so no one knows.
I didn't know that, but I would be the pun one. I love puns. But yeah, I
But
don't
yeah,
know.
and again, I definitely see the irony of me. I do not run an Atlus podcast, no matter how much I try to hijack this show. Yes, obviously we mostly talk about the RPGs and stuff, but it's like it is a bummer that like I wish that they would do that stuff. But yeah, I think the year might scare them off. Their lack of, and I mean literally in Atlus's whole time as a company, do you feel like you guys have ever seen Atlus celebrate their history in a way that felt like them as the company and not them celebrating the IP the company has made?
Not really. It really
No,
the
I don't even think
closest.
they know their history to be honest.
The
They seem
closest
to
it
not
ever.
really.
Ooh,
Sorry,
sorry,
good.
go ahead.
No, I was gonna
I
say like
was.
they don't. Oh my God, you go now,
No,
Maka.
the closest I think it ever really got to like celebrating their history was in the form of metaphor, and that was like the game. That's not the company as a whole. I really do think like they just aren't great at. They really do think of it as just like individual franchises as opposed to something that makes up the entirety of Atlus. Okay, now you go.
Yeah, I mean, they did try. Like, so they did the Atlas 35, which is super weird, and they did the Atlas 30th. But like when they did the 30th, I think they did it on the year that wasn't even the 30th. So I don't know why it was the 30th. I think it was they considered the 30th because they said that it was the release of Puzzle Boy, which they called their first game, which is not their first game, but it's weird. It's like to me, it really reeks more of they just don't know their history because I've talked to some at least Atlas West fans or Atlas West staff, some of the ones who've been there since like the days where they would put their names into the game, like you know what I mean. Like Spencer knows what I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about. What it would literally be NPCs that are just named after people who worked on the localization back then. Like, and they didn't even know that they started off selling like karaoke equipment. Like Alice was selling karaoke equipment in the early days, and to fund like Digital Devil Saga or Digital Devil Story, he had to like sell a bunch of arcade equipment to recoup the cost of production, and like those kinds of things are completely lost because I remember reading the I remember reading like their little anniversary blurb for the 30th anniversary, and the way they make it sound like they just randomly poofed into existence, and and was just born making Persona, I guess. So it really does feel like not only is there like this focus on the games, but specific games separated out into franchises, but it feels like they don't even care. They don't care about like their own history, which is sad. It's sad to me because I'm sure I'm sure Sega cares about. I don't know Sega history, so I couldn't tell you anything interesting, but I'm sure Sega
Sega
cares about their history to some degree.
Sega very much cares about their history. They don't treat the franchise. I mean, outside of like the moments where they specifically do, they usually do not. They tend to treat like a lot of their franchises as like making up the sum of Sega, as opposed to just these weird individual islands. Um,
That's the
I think.
opposite of Atlus.
Well, so you talking about that with Atlus, it just made me think. I know it's been a long time. It's been such a long time since it was like. I mean, people still will complain about it, but like it feels like a lot of the complaining with like, oh, Atlus doesn't remember P1 and P2. They act like it doesn't exist. Like a lot of that has kind of calmed down, but I do think that kind of does summarize a lot of their mindset with these things, where it's just like they don't really talk about or like to promote these things that existed prior to a specific moment, and they'll just kind of go like, oh yeah, well that's not when it really started. Be like, yeah, there's what was before it, but that wasn't what we actually know it to be, and they kind of like almost hand wave it.
I will say the thing that's a bit of a bummer with it is like Sega is definitely better by comparison with it. I worry though because Sega is so large that I think it's easy for people to forget a lot of all the things Sega just kind of fucks off with in terms of license it to other people, don't care about who works on this, that, or whatever. Like a good example this week is like all the Echo the Dolphin news that came out. I don't know if you guys saw,
I did see
but it's
this.
like the whole thing with Echo the Dolphin is so interesting, but it just like makes me sad because it like reminds me of the whole Streets of Rage 4 thing of Sega has no faith in this IP, so they're just going to license it out to the original creators, which is great. But did you notice how no one from any Sega account outside of employees was sharing the news that Echo the Dolphin is coming back, even though it is still their own fucking IP? Like, and they have done things to try and fix that and bring things in house. Like you look with how they took the Streets of Rage 4 team. Like Streets of Rage 4, most people don't talk about this. Streets of Rage 4 legitimately embarrassed Sega of Japan so much that's why they brought them in for Shinobi, because they got so many people mistakenly assuming that they greenlit that game when they just licensed it to Dotemu, who got Lizard Cube and and Guard Crush and everyone together to work on that game. And Sega, imagine by the way the imposter syndrome as like Sega Japan executives be like, oh my god, you brought back this amazing IP, you brought back like Yuzo Koshiro to work on it, everyone loves it, it's getting so many awards, like everyone's loving it, it's so great, you guys did such a great job, and knowing you had nothing to do with it. So like they've tried to bring it in and work with some IP, but even other ones like think about 3 years ago was when they had that big Sega Game Awards teaser for Shinobi. What was it? It was Shinobi, Golden Axe, Crazy Taxi, and Jet Set Radio. And only Shinobi is out, and we have heard nothing and seen nothing of all of those games. And all of those games outside of Golden Axe, specifically like Jet Set Radio and Crazy Taxi, are, from all the leaks we've seen, live service super games, or possibly the super game, but at the very least we know both of those are meant to be live service games, which, spoilers, 2026 is calling, they may not want a live service battle pass Fortnite-ification of Crazy Taxi. I don't think that's going to be the next big hit for this series.
You
So it's
don't?
like that thing of like, I know. So like, and that's always the bummer because people will then be like, why the fuck is Sega just Yakuza, Sonic, insert random year they remember Monkey Ball, repeat? And it's because, spoilers, most of their money comes from Sonic, Yakuza, insert random IP, repeat.
Hatsune Miku.
Sorry,
Oh yeah, they
I
don't have
went
the right to
silent
her
a bit
anymore.
because I decided to open the the metaphor book, and I didn't know that they literally just did what I was talking about. How the first game came out on the first year that Atlas was created, but the first game they recognize is Puzzle Boy as their first ever game, which is wrong. They're like
Fake
they're wrong.
fans. Fake
They're wrong
fans,
about their own.
Atlas.
Yeah, fake fans. They made sure to credit themselves for making Disney Kitchen Winnie the Pooh, but not. But it sounds like a joke, but that's literally.
No, I know. I'm only laughing because I love to bring up my Disney Kitchen on PS1 because fuck yeah, of course they did. But also like yeah, it's like I just feel like think of like this is what you want to bring up. This nothing else. Forgetting anything?
Yeah, no.
And yeah, it's weird. Looking at looking at the history and looking at what they're choosing to highlight, it says a lot about the lack of care. And it's literally called the Atlas brand 35th history book. And I'm like, oh, I mean, incomplete history book, I guess.
Gotta bring that back. The 1-800 contacts guy. My brand. What have they done to my brand? If you remember that commercial, I'm sorry, you might have arthritis. So, man, I'm so glad our predictions are making us so hopeful for the future
Yeah,
of
everything is
2026.
great. Everything is great and awesome.
I legitimately think this year could be good. Listen, man. They know. They commented on it, but like literally, the problem with going back to Persona, the problem with the anniversary years on paper should be a slam dunk. Like nothing should be easier than feeding me my little slop. Give me my acrylic slop. You know what I want to make me happy. But yet somehow they have found ways to blow it. So I think there are ways that they can win this year, even if this year let's not even talk about announcements. This year we see no release of Persona 4R and of course P6. There are still things that they can do that will make people excited in a realistic way or in a realistic fashion, and ranging from like tiny things, whether it just be, and I mean like real like low effort, like I think we would have heard something by now. I doubt we will be shocked if this ever happens, but also it's hard not to take the silence as, well, that might mean that they're really not working on it. Of like, it has been so odd that they worked with these teams to make really bare bone basic ports of Persona 3 Portable and Persona 4 Golden and thought, but let's not do that with the earlier games also on PSP. Like the idea of just, and I've been literally saying this for so many years, like it just seems like the easiest thing possible. Even if they just do one, like, because knowing Atlus, they apparently are allergic to compiling more than one game at a time. Like, even if they just did like Persona 1 and called it like a modern like remaster, but it is just like a HD PSP port, people would be happy. Like that would make people excited. Like that would be something cool that they could do that would not make much effort, but also would be a cool way of celebrating the series in a year where you're not getting anything big, but you need to get something out before GTA 6, or at the very least announce it. So I think stuff is possible, but this is such a weird, auspicious year to have an anniversary without hopefully trapping yourself into guaranteed bad sales, because you don't want to just like crank out nothing. Like we don't want, and this is a weird one, especially because the fact that my highlight of the Persona 25th anniversary was Persona 4 Ultimax coming back, that's not a good sign. Like we don't want the highlight of the 30th anniversary to be, guys, great news. We got ports for Persona Dancing Trilogy.
Whoa!
And I mean, listen, I'm buying it. I'm gonna buy that shit. But I know people will not be happy.
Chie, what is it? The Chie Flash game. That's what we want ported.
Yeah, baby. Oh, dude, how sad is it that like the chance that Gmode might release more?
No, I know.
How sad is it? How sad is it that Gmode might release more Atlus games than Atlus this year?
That's a very real thing. Yeah.
So I've got a couple of rapid fire predictions that if you guys have a thought on, let me know. I'll go one at a time, and let me know, because I've got some interesting ones I wanted to run by you guys specifically. Number one, I'll be shocked if no one has any thoughts on this. It is not announced this year, But in the year 2026, people will notice 0 Atlus or Sega limited run releases this year. Sega and limited run are no longer working together. Any future titles contracts are canceled, overwritten, or not happening due to one of two factors:
Reverse
overwhelming
tweets.
negative complaints. That
Yeah.
too. So, overwhelming negative reactions, specifically looking at you, Sonic X Shadows Collector's Edition,
It's crazy how
and
bad that's going.
And Larrue's tweet.
and well, yeah, LaRue's tweet, but also because I don't know if I asked you about this with it, but this got very little headlines. Specifically, this happened during the holiday New Year with it because he did not want many people to talk about this. Josh Fairhurst is no longer the
Retired.
CEO, and his
Yep.
last day. No, not
No.
retiring. He is
Oh.
leaving Limited Run. He is going to do another equivalent of Limited Run, but he has seen the writing on the wall. He's got the money from Embracer. Like when they got bought off, a lot of people wondered how long would the owners still stay after Embracer bought them. And I think the Embracer checks finally clearing, and at this point, like the whatever goodwill Limited Run had, especially from a Sega fan perspective and Atlus, has just completely been driven into the ground after 2025. So it's one of those things where it is like Josh was the one advocating all of these Sega pushes. He is the big fan. Like Sega is his, like that's his big baby, and he is never one to like hide it with it. Where I think they're aware of it, he's aware of it. He was the only one really pushing for it, and they're just gonna stop. No more Yakuza games, no more Persona, no more Shin Megami Tensei. Like none of the games that were in the works are gonna come out outside of everything that has already been put up for pre-order.
I mean,
What do you guys think and all that stuff?
well, that's
I think
great
that's
news.
totally
Actually, I
awesome.
was having a kind of a bad day, and now I'm high on life.
Hell yeah.
And and the bummer with that is that news is a prediction that I bet will. I have no inside information on into any of this, but it is just one of those funny things of like I think a lot of people don't know how many employees have left willingly from Limited Run in the last year, and Josh was really the last kind of big holdout of those people who pushed these Sega titles. And it's like, especially after the whole Sonic statue debacle, it's like a lot of people just kind of got to the point where it's like the juice can't be worth the squeeze, right? Like literally, like I don't know how much anyone has thought about this as much as me because I'm apparently the only fucking psychopath out there who cares about things like this. I am ready. And I don't want this to be true, but I feel it in my balls it's going to be true. If they fucked up a Sonic statue, there is no way Rido's going to be looking good. No way that Rido statue is going to be looking good.
No.
Actually, kind of want it now. Like now that I know that they're like it's done, I don't have to worry anymore. I think I'm gonna actually buy that secondary, or what is that one website that somehow always seems to have
VGP.
VGP.
VGP always gets all their stuff with it.
I love the downfall. It's so delicious. You don't understand. This is like there's only like 3 enemies I have. It's Ilya. It's Ilya the artist. It's limited run games, and it's what's the and it's I am 8-bit. Those companies.
Damn.
Yeah. Yes.
Damn, man.
If I am 8-bit reached out, I was like, oh, I would like to send you the next Persona. I would say no. I would literally say no, because I like I'm a vinyl collector, but I actually care about quality, and let's just say that their quality is really bad, and it doesn't always run playable. Like I tried to play the Persona 4 one. I've tried the Persona 4 Golden one because I was like, oh, I can't wait to play Shadow World. Literally, you have to clean the vinyl first, which is not a normal thing for vinyl records, and it just didn't sound great. And I have a good speaker system and everything. Meanwhile,
I was really bummed they got Metaphor. I really tried
I was
before it got announced finally. I was really pushing for Fangamer to get it, but I knew it was going to be hard.
And yes, Oh, actually, I can't say this. Never mind. The point is, almost said something bad. The point is, praying for the. I want you to provide let me in on the podcast when you announce that their contract is over with Atlus. Let me know.
We'll
'Cause-
have we'll have an airing of grievances. We'll have
yeah.
like it'll just be like a celebrity roast of bad company decisions. Which, by the way, when you look at all the things that came out of it, it's kind of sad that like somehow it just kept getting worse. You know, like, normally it's like, oh, it started bad and then it got worse. Whereas like it was like, oh, okay, well, this isn't great, but like ironically, it's kind of funny that like even though it took forever, somehow Persona was the least messy out of almost all of their releases. Like every other release had an asterisk next to it of, oh, this went wrong. This kept getting delayed. This was broken. This was changed during production. People found out this wasn't true. Nothing was better than when they re-released not one but 7 Yakuza games that already existed physically, and people found out after waiting months that, oh, you know that disc that they reprinted, it's actually the exact same disc as the launch disc. There's no patches on there, no updates, no nothing. It's like, yeah, whatever. We'll just slap a black and white cover on it, call it a day.
Which is crazy. I'm like literally looking at their social media, and so many people are just all their tweets is just people replying with complaints and asking for updates and stuff. And I'm just like, dang, like you guys really burn the bridge with everybody. But
It's
They, you know,
it's a wild one.
you know
It's a
what
weird
company
one.
they haven't burned the bridge with, and I'm really frustrated that they won't.
Who?
what?
Way Forward.
Oh, I thought you meant
Yeah.
Atlus. I was like, what?
No,
That's a weird one in the sense of they, similar to Sega, they really kowtowed to get them to the point where I wouldn't be shocked if like legitimately all of the like because like normally their revenue split is publisher slash developer gets 70%, limited run gets 30% of the profits. That's how most of their deals worked always, to the point where it is so odd that out of everyone, Way Forward has never worked with another company on like anything, when everyone just wants them to, like, everyone loves Way Forward. No one has ever had a problem about anything Way Forward, but it's like they must just have such a sweet grandfathered in deal that like it is so weird, because in Asia, ironically, Way Forward games get published by Arc System Works, but they always get locked to limited run over here in America, and it's like universally all Shantae fans, all River City Girl fans, all anything Way Forward fans fucking hate I've never met a Shantae fan who is glad that they have to buy it through limited run. It's so funny. Like, imagine being like, oh, well, I guess it's kind of similar. Like, it's like, remember how like when Silent Hill was really, really in a bad spot? It's like,
oh yeah.
imagine loving a series as much as you hate the publisher. You're like, oh, I love this, but I fucking hate everyone who's behind it.
That's the optimal way of being a fan, to be honest.
Yeah, and I mean, usually that is kind of true, especially in terms of obviously the executives are not the ones making the creative decisions. It's just really weird when you know how small a company like Way Forward is. It's like,
Yeah.
who is your evil corporate overlord there? It's like you guys are like, there's like 30 of you all there. Like, what are we doing here? So that was my first rapid fire one, but I figured, especially with the both of you, that you guys would have a thought or three on that one. The other one I wanted to put out there as a prediction was, and this is only because it would be funny to see Mac make a new video on it. For the third time, the Atlus store closes.
Yeah. Let's go.
I don't know if it's just because they like to close it whenever they change manufacturers or something. I feel like, especially with them opening an Amazon store, working with more companies, not like just like 86, but like also like I Am 8-Bit, Fangamer, all those ones with it. I feel like it has never made less sense for them to have their own store with how little things they put on there. Oh, a great tweet. Speaking of tweets that should have gotten as many tweets as your fucking G Fuel tweet, Larrue, where the fuck was the 4,000 likes on the post about the SMT5 cards? Like, hey, we made this really
yeah.
shittily made TCG. Do you want to know what kind of cards you could collect in it? Yeah, me neither. Here you go.
I just went back to that tweet. 26 likes, and on a really important tweet.
Boo.
Sometimes
Tomato.
I sometimes I tweet something with a specific motive, and this was so Atlus could see that this is a really glaring issue. And I'm like, why does no one care? Because why would I buy these if I don't even know what's in here? Like, I need to know at least, oh, there's like a golden Mario you can get. It's like, let me know.
Now, I assume, did you post that because did you see that they tweeted recently, the Atlus Styles account tweeted recently about how they had those cards still in stock?
Yep, that's exactly why I did it. That's so funny.
Going back to no, you and me are just fucking mentally linked in all the wrong ways. So going back to their fucking social media being weirdly ran on autopilot, that video has another fucking telltale thing that's in there. They're like any other company, I'd be like, you're just including something fucked up in here to like rage bait us into commenting. But no one comments on it because no one gives a shit. In that video, the rare is the first card opened. And then they go through and they show the first card again last like it was the final look. Like if you look, the first card in that pack is the rare.
I love that actually.
They show it, go through all the cards, and then when they get to the gold again for the second time, they do the little excited, oh, it's the gold! Yeah, you saw it when you opened the pack!
No, that's good. I love that. It's that you gotta send me that. I want. I gotta see
like,
it.
listen, dude. Seriously, I will not even say this on the podcast. If someone can prove to me that they are doing these as like attempts at rage baiting, kudos to you. I've fallen for the bait, but like, I just don't believe that they know how to play 3D chess, let alone 4D chess.
Might not even know how to play 2D chess, but.
But oh yes, because you sent the screenshot. Yeah, so Josh did lock down his account after he announced because similar to when the other. Dude.
Yeah.
A great post was when he announced it. The Cheap Ass Gamer account made a great post about it that he was leaving, and there were two great responses to it. One, all of the people following up the news of him leaving being like, man, I can't wait for him to leave after 10 months of delays.
Yeah.
And then the other one was Cheap Ass Gamer retweeted it, but with the same picture of Josh, but in black and white, being like, limited run CEO leaving, variant cover now in stock.
Whoa.
That's so delicious. I love that.
Yeah, if you want, that one was a good one. I was only bummed that Wario64 didn't tweet about it, but then I remember Wario64 was one of the rare cases of limited run made him an affiliate link, and limited run never did affiliate links with people at all, but they had to pay him to start tweeting about them. Notice how Wario, he used to sometimes make comments about limited run stuff, but Wario64 was like the only person LRG would pay. Like, every release, he had to make a post about it, if not multiple times about pre-orders. And he might still be under that contract, which, by the way, speaking of making that money, that's like an instant print money glitch. If you're the Wario64 guy, that is the most coasting on referral money for the rest of your life kind of job to exist.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know if I can handle being Wario, though. I don't know. The amount of saving and reposting, and he has so many in jokes that are like just things he always does. I'm like, man, it's like, I don't know. It seems like a lot of work. I'd rather just make my my slop content.
But yeah, I'll take a quick prediction break. Do either of you two have another one you want to put out there? I know we're going long, but I figured I'd ask before we start winding down.
I'm kind of out of predictions for now.
No, yeah. I mean, I felt like I showed my hand pretty early. I don't have anything else.
So I'm gonna put one last one out there, prediction wise, and this is an odder one, but one that I almost want to at least kind of like will it into existing of like, oh, this would be great. I think, and I don't know how they would handle this or what they would do. And the tricky part is because they've recently had a win with it, but also kind of a miss. I think it would be very interesting because they could do it on the cheap, but it would still take a little bit of time. A wild ass prediction in a year where they may not come out with the full game. I have been saying since last year when they released the game on Switch 2 that the way they talked about how they initially started development making it a Switch 1 game, my gut just tells me they know that there are still millions more people who could buy it on Switch 1 if they port it there, even if it's really, really late, that P3R could still come to Switch 1, despite what they've said in their comments. And to sweeten the pot / get a chance to sell some meaningful piece of DLC, and I don't know if this would make it bad will or good will. I would be all up for it because I would 100% do a replay of it. They got the team who worked on episode Igus, and for the last year plus, that team made FEMC. Now, it would be paid DLC. It would release at the same time as the Switch version, which of course would not be included. But I think that would be a cool anniversary year gift that might rub some people the wrong way, but finally kind of rounding the circle of completing Persona 3 Reload. What do you guys think? Don't all answer at once.
I was letting Maka go.
I was letting you go. Okay, I guess I'll go. Honestly, after a certain point, I kind of want to see how long we'd be just quiet.
It's only because you know I have to edit these fucking pregnant pauses. That's why.
Exactly. No, I feel like. Okay, I'm sorry, Larrue. What the fuck did you just post? What did you post 3 minutes ago?
Did you not hear about this game?
It's one
Did you not see the memes about this?
No, I'm sorry. I glanced over and I see this in the chat. This is completely derailed what I was gonna say. What is that?
The charm.
Don't worry,
Finder
Mac.
quest.
There's a girl version of the feet one too.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Anyway, on what I was saying. I'm really glad that exists. Anyway. I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think that's gonna happen. Just I feel like if anything, it'd be more likely that there'd be something P4 are like they do the golden stuff. They'll do DLC where it's the golden content, even though that's worked in more with like the year. I don't know. I feel like I would expect something more with P4 than them going back and doing FEMC for the Switch release, which is technically a last gen release. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think so.
See, my thing is that it makes a lot of sense for them to do that, which is why I don't think they're gonna do that.
Yeah.
It's too poetic. It's too logical. It seems like it would make decent money. It wouldn't make a lot of money. It would make decent money. And it kind of aligns with the fact that they keep including FEMC now in merch, which I don't like. They weren't really doing, like, not really. So I like the idea, but it's too smart, so it's not gonna happen.
So I appreciate you guys saying it's not going to happen. That negative energy will now make it happen, so I'm all here for it. The $1 million question, and I'd love for anyone listening to comment with it. What do you price that at? Because I feel like obviously they're not going to do the expansion pass again. I mean, unless they're feeling really fucking saucy. I think they would just sell it as a DLC pack. I think 30 is the maximum you would sell that for, and could still be a good, because it would just be its own game at that point. Like, you could even do that as standalone. But like, I think 30 would be fair for FEMC route, even though that game is going to be 2+ years old at that point. What do you would you guys say too high, too low, or what would you price it at, Larue?
I'm sorry, I was watching the video. You have to say that again.
I knew you'd love that video. I can't believe you didn't notice that. Like when I watched that, I was like, my little fucking social media manager brain was like, this is how I know this account is being ran by just the normiest ass normie. He's like, whoa, I got the Charizard.
It's because I watch so many of those TCG unboxing things where they're like, literally there's a guy with a whole bunch of jingles, and he does that unboxing thing, and he does exactly what they do, like shakes his hand at the camera as if like he got something so crazy that he can't contain his energy. But it's even funnier because there's only 5 cards in the pack, so the reaction is even sillier. It's like, what are you doing, man? Like, what are you doing? So I didn't hear what you said. I was too busy rewatching the video. So I watched like 2 times.
Let it be known, by the way, everybody. If you are wondering, should I open it or should I keep it sealed? Do not buy those packs of cards. They are very low print quality. I feel like me in my basement, I could make better. Like they are flimsy ass cardboard. The shine looks like dollar store. It would be like if you bought like dollar store packs. Like that's like it is not good print quality at all. The SMT5 ones were bad and the Vengeance ones are bad. There's a reason they have not sold out. The question I had for you, if they did FMC DLC, I think $30 is the most they could charge for it. Do you think that's crazy, on the money, or what would you pick for it?
I mean, it
I
would have to
think
go higher. See, this is why I waited for you last. Go.
Okay. I'll go. I will go. It's me time. I think they could charge. I think reasonably they could charge more than 30. However, because it would effectively just be adding like a complete second like playthrough. The problem is after episode Igus being $30. I mean, it's you get all these like these additional little packs. It's like that's not what people were buying it for. But episode Igus being $30, I think just like was so unfair, or like not unfair, but like it puts so many people in like a bad taste in so many people's mouth that something like FemC being $30 or more would probably just elicit a similar response of just like ugh.
Leroy, what about you?
See, okay, it's funny because this is also one of the scripts I've been working on recently. When they talked about why they didn't do FemC, they mentioned, oh, it would cost twice as much to make it because you're making the game again for a second time, and the production time would take like twice as long. So it makes so much sense that they would release it right now, but because of the twice as much comment, it makes me think that they would have to charge like a full, like to recoup losses, it would have to be like a $60 DLC. But they can't do that because they don't have like the rapport of something like From Software. If From Software did like $60 for DLC, people would be like, okay, because we know we're gonna get 80 hours out of it. People that would not understand that it requires a lot of working to make that DLC. So I don't think $30 would be a good idea, but it would be one they'd have to do in order to like people to buy it. Because if they said it was $60, no one would buy it.
I like your logic, and I think there's actually a realistic middle ground they could do that would please both collectors and owners of the game with it. If you own the game, it's $30, maybe as a launch discount, but at the most priced 40. But if you don't want to buy the game and you don't own P3R, you can buy it standalone for 60. Like do the whole Witcher thing with it. Like you can play those giant ass Witcher expansions on their own if you don't want to buy the game for whatever reason, because it is just that much of its own big ass game. And like it would, and then even if they wanted to lean into it and like really get the collectors like us over the barrel, oh, here you go, guys. Here's another collector's edition. Here's another physical edition. Now with the FEMC version.
And a FEMC acrylic stand with each purchase.
No.
Yes.
I like that. I like your idea though. It makes a lot of sense. It's actually probably that would be the thing that would get me over the hill to buy it if they did something like that. Just because it shows good faith with fans. Yeah, I like that idea a lot.
So yes, God, man, someone's got to post more in the chat. I've just got that fucking awful foot emoji shake with it. This is why the Did You Know podcast got canceled, didn't it, Larue? We'd be sending
Yeah.
awful pictures.
I'm sorry.
No, you are good. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on. We absolutely fucking did a terrible job at keeping this less than 2 hours, but it was fantastic talking with both of you.
Yes, it was a lot of fun. It's been a minute since I was last on. And honestly, I also just kind of like lost track of time while we were talking, so I didn't even realize it had been 2 hours until it'd been longer than 2
Well,
hours.
don't worry. I mean, don't worry. By the time I finish, by the time I remove all the long pauses, when the pregnant pauses are gone, we'll be at least sub 90 minutes, I'm sure.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
I mean, yeah, it was nice being back on here. It's been such a long time, and having a third wheel or being the third wheel, I'm not sure which one it was for me. Very much like I think it was fun. You had two people with Jack Frost related profiles on the same time.
Yeah, it's
Usually,
crazy.
Yeah, it actually kind of is. And I'm White Frost on mine too. I forgot that I wasn't like actually Black Frost.
Yeah, and I'm a Nopon.
I didn't know what your thing was. I was gonna ask because it's so scary looking.
It's
fake fan, dude. Fake fan Larue over here.
What is it?
It's a Nopon. It's the little mascot creatures from Xenoblade.
Oh, see, that's why.
Yeah, I have a special version where it's just my avatar, but it's as a Nopon, and my profile picture is a screenshot of it.
There's certain types of mascot type characters that I hate, and looking this up, and I really genuinely hate it. Like, it's one of the.
Oh, just wait till you hear what most of them sound like. Their voices will also make you love or hate them.
You should look up Choo Choo from Xenogears.
Choo Choo from Xenogears.
See, I thought you were gonna lean him towards Ricky or the one from 3. I forget what's the boy one from 3 called again?
Oh, Riku.
Oh, I want this thing to die.
Yeah.
this. Oh, good. There's one of it on the crop. I hate this thing so much. I don't even know what it really does deserve mass extinction. Sorry, I don't know if that ruined. Like, maybe you have to cut this out.
Oh no. I mean, listen, we are we're Xenoblade glazers here. We got to leave it all in.
Oh, this is such an ugly creature. It is so disgusting.
It's getting crucified. And listen,
I just want you guys to know this is easily going to be one of my hardest and most awful thumbnails I've ever had to make for a podcast, I'm sure.
LaRue, listen, I need you to understand, this thing is not acknowledged for like 80% of the game, and then it just comes out of nowhere and turns into like a fucking kaiju. And by that, I mean it just gets big. And then people go back to not acknowledging it, but it's in your party now.
Why?
I don't know. It's so bizarre.
I don't think I'm ever gonna play Xenogears now. It's actually so disgusting. I hate this freak. Like, sorry, I'm getting like racist stuff.
You don't understand though. Listen, Laura, you don't understand. If they had had a chance to finish the rest of Xenogears, you would have understood the plight of Choo Choo. You just don't understand.
You just don't understand.
Disc 2 and 3 would have explained Choo Choo's backstory more.
Well, at least your
right,
picture is not a disgusting version of this. It looks more tolerable.
Yes.
These things are. Okay, sorry.
So we're gonna. No, you're good. We're gonna wrap up. But before we do, in the spirit of the artist formerly known as Did You Know Tensei, depending on the social media you're on, I figured we could give. I'm gonna give Mac a fun little trivia question, because now with one of our earlier pieces of news story, I realized there's a fun little. At least I'm gonna use you as a test bunny, because I imagine this is an easy trivia question. But as LaRue and I have found out, just because what we in our dumb brains think is an easy trivia question does not mean everyone else's brain goes there. Mac, the question for you. Nintendo has published 2 pieces of downloadable content in their history on the Switch for Atlus-related IP. We talked about the second one. What is the first piece of DLC Nintendo ever published related to Atlus?
So my mind immediately just jumps to TMS, but you mean specifically on the Switch?
On the Switch? Well, I mean, yeah, but yes. Specifically DLC, but also yes on the Switch.
Okay. I'm gonna say
No cheating.
no. I'm not gonna cheat. Um, so I believe the one that was like we did mention was like Joker and Smash, because that is
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was it.
that was the one that you'd mentioned we already talked about.
No, the one we had already talked about was the fitness boxing because they are the publisher
Oh, okay,
of
my
it.
bad. Yeah, no, Joker and Smash.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That means your brain cells are at least up there. By the way, what a fall off. Nintendo published DLC. We go Joker and Smash Brothers, MIDI soundtracks from Persona 5 and Fitness Boxing Trader 3.
It's fitting.
Yeah.
Oh, now that's a pun I can appreciate. Thank you for that one.
Atlus is saying something.
All right. Well, everyone, thank you for listening to this episode. If you would like to listen to more of these fine two frost-related creatures, Mac, where can people find you? Where do they want to be found? And what are you working on?
Right now, well, first off, you can find me at Macca here on YouTube, and you can find me at JBO Macca, basically pretty much everywhere else. In terms of what I'm working on right now, I, as of today, finally got back to streaming Digimon, so I slowly working my way through that. I'm apparently past the 60% mark, so I'm farther than I thought. But yeah, I'm streaming that. In terms of videos, things are kind of slowed down right now because I'm trying to do some stuff IRL. So videos aren't coming at the same pace as they used to, but I am working on something, and it's something that, you know what? I'll just say right here. So it's something that you pitched that I'm totally stealing the idea from, and you attacked me with a knife. So you work on that, and we'll talk about that more eventually once I find the time to actually like start working further on that video.
All right. And Larrue, what about you? Where can we watch at least your 13 TikToks you're posting a day?
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I do have that TikTok. It's either Larue or Larue Waru, but that's my TikTok handle. I'm trying to post like every day, but the other one that's more reliable is the Did You Know Tensei at Instagram. Same content, literally the same exact content. I'm trying to do a wide variety of things, and you can find me there, and also on YouTube, Larue. And I'm trying to leave Twitter forever, but it seems like I can't because that's where all like the Atlas staff post still. So the only way to maintain any kind of relationship with Atlas is to stay on Twitter forever, unfortunately.
It sucks, but it's true.
Can I just say on
It does,
TikTok
yeah.
you are Larue Wuru.
See, I knew
Also,
it.
speaking of audaciously bad numbers, and this is not because of you. I am upset because remember we were talking about I cannot believe that age video you did had like almost 40K.
Mm-hmm.
The video you posted before it, speaking about the Sanrio collab, 82 views. What are we doing as a society?
It's so annoying too, because if you look at the two videos, you can hear how happy I am talking about Sanrio. And it's like, oh, you hate joy, right? You hate unbridled happiness, because I got 82 views. So it's funny though. It's funny and sad. It's not just sad.
It's like, I mean, and I get that sometimes because like the TikTok algorithm is always so funny. Of like when I'll post stuff every blue moon or so, it's like the thing I don't put any effort into, or may not be me the most happy, the most views. Yeah, the positive ones. Like one of my I posted. I usually try to give a shout out to the Persona 5 manga because like a
Yeah,
lot of
people
people
love your
often
manga
forget about it.
videos. I've
And
noticed
that
that. I'm
manga
like,
video did really good on views, and I appreciate like, it is, but it is 50-50 in the comments, dude. The comments are either, "Oh my god, I didn't know this existed," or "Oh my god, I'm a really big fan of it," to, "Oh my god, this thing looks fucking ugly. This fucking manga is fucking looks like dog shit." And I'm like, "Come on, man. I'm just trying to spread the word."
which is it's
Like,
unfortunate because it's not even the ugliest Persona manga in my opinion. But
no. Oh my god, dude. Oh, okay, well, you said Persona manga. I was like, bro, you better not be saying Memento's Mission looks ugly.
no. I was being very specific, but it's fine. I gotta go to sleep soon anyway. So past
Well,
my
everybody,
bedtime.
thank you for listening. Everybody, big shout out. If you want to keep this dumpster fire going, somebody's got it. Please, Jesus Christ. I have not dipped into grifting yet, but if you would like to help prevent it, at least for another week, you can go to patreon.com/SMTN. Dollar and up will get you shows early, like this one will be a couple days early for patrons, and $5 and up gets you the executive producer tier. So I want to give a big shout out to all of the executive producers, such as Aaron McNamara, Twist, John Massey, Jesus Coon, Crazy Sloth, Michael Wilson, Budweiser Tall Cans, Carlos Hernandez, Cross Run Ren, Wenny, Jagingus, Gorosero, Solaire, Stephen Yip, and Patrick Dissart. Thank you all so much. Next week's episode will either be up early or late, depending on what we end up doing. I might just make the episode after this, like, I'll be filming a bunch in LA, either just from videos or concerts or other stuff. The hope would be at some point we get like a post-concert stupor after party recording session. Or if we don't get that to happen, we can do a really bad impromptu podcast like we did for the SMT Game Realms meetup, like what, 2 years ago? Do you remember where
No,
we're
I
just like
remember.
we just finished eating fucking like Steak and Shake, no, Shake Shack, and we're like, what if we just stood in a circle in LA and we just talked about what we did today for like 20 minutes and then left? So you could get something in between either of those two in terms of quality and quantity. But yeah, I am excited. Also, if you are going to the Persona concert in LA, feel free to hit me up, follow me. I will be trying, at the very least, the closest to a everyone's welcome meetup will be if you are going to the first showing on the Saturday concert, so not the night version, but the first showing. I think it's like 2 or something. Uh, Please find me. I will be obnoxiously loud, I'm sure, and I have a lot of freebies that I will be giving away to people and that other people will be helping me in terms of giving stuff away. So please consider going. I will be making a complete fool of myself and will hopefully not get kicked out. But yes, end of the show. We've recorded for too long. We will see you next week in LA. All of us crying because Mac did not want to fly all the way across America because the economy. How can I afford it? The economy.
Oh, you caught me.
You could have been selling feet pics, by the way. You could have fixed this easily. Mac
Damn, I
feet.
could. Yeah, I'll get on that. Only feats.
Only
How is there
It's
not
really
only
it's.
feet?
Oh, there is. What do you mean? How is there not? If there's wiki feet, there's of course there's only feet.
True.
All right, everybody. Until next time, we will see you later. Thank you again for listening. Thank you, Mac, for joining me. Thank you, Larrue, for joining me. Have a good night, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.